Hey, what's up, Peter? How you doing, man? Let me put it out. Drake, what's up? Hey, thanks for the 14 months. Can we get some W's? I know there's like two of you right now. I'll throw in one myself, to add into the chat. W Drake. W Drake. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Brown Pants? How you guys doing today? Let me just let the Discord servers know that I am live. And yeah, no, we can start today. How's everybody doing? By the way, let me know. Do you guys care for the do you guys actually care for like the new the new time slot that I'm like working at? I know 4 is like bad for some people. What are we gonna do today? Well, there's been a discussion that's been happening for a while now. I've been seeing across the internet regarding like the God tree versus the Adam tree. It's a discussion I've been seeing like pop up on the internet. Which is taller, in your opinion? Some people think Kakashi beats Emu. Yeah, people should believe that. God tree. What up, Nah, alright. Yo, Mr. Dens, you really are about to gate the world record for getting timed out in the shortest amount of time from a stream being up. There's a 1 minute timeout, bruv. God damn. Motherfuckers really like calling me a bean lover. I've never been this disrespected in my fucking life. It's crazy. You people got problems, I swear. You people got some problems. Who do you think wins? What? Kakashi versus Emu? Emu, the main villain of One Piece that just curb stomped the guy that I think can solo virtually 99% of Naruto, including Boruto. Yeah, I'd probably put my money on Kakashi. Yeah, I mean DMS kind of got that. Yeah. Yeah, he totally has it. Yeah, Kakashi totally wins. It's a curb stomp for Kakashi. Why would anyone argue that Emu wins? Come on now, let's not be biased here. Whoa, what is this? Monkey hunting. I didn't see this one. His final camping trip with his father marked the beginning of the hunt. A chilling new take on terror, distinct from the original novel, brought to life by a Supernova creative team. The latest work from the acclaimed novelist Toshinari Matsuda. So what, are monkeys in this case, the bad guys? Okay. Holy shit, monkeys are timid creatures. They tend to... Oh, shit. Oh, no. That's scary. I checked out this series that apparently is, like, relatively new. I'm not usually into stories like this, but I gotta say, the art style definitely caught my eye. I will admit the art style 100% caught my eye. But before we do anything, let me pull up the... Yeah, let me pull up the script real quick, because I do need to make a small adjustment to the script. Hopefully, I will be done voice recording this week. I've been like... I'll be honest, my pace for working on this has been relatively slow. In case you guys didn't know, my least favorite portion of working on videos is the voice recording, just because of all the small mistakes that I constantly make while recording. It's kind of rough sometimes, but right here, paste. I basically got, let me see, because I can't really tell. I got like 3 pages worth of recording left. Less than 3 pages. 1, 2, about a page and a half left, right? So a little over a page and a half left. So yeah, I've just been thinking about, like, probably gonna have to, like, expand on this for a bit, because I do have to talk about, like, Gamabunta and stuff. And you're wondering, why does size matter? Because it does. Sure, there are characters that can lead to fighting, and it gives a much larger area to which they can damage it. But it can also bring out in the middle of a fight. It also allows the user to... Okay. The truth is, Gamabunta... I need to kind of go through this, and why I think Luffy still beats Gamabunta, so... Let's go through this real quick. The kick Emu gave Sanji fodderizes the Naruto verse. Like, how tall would a tree need to be to have differing environments? That's also true. I guess you would have to argue that it has to have enough of a distance between each other to where, like, yeah, there can exist a temperature change and a change in entire locate, a change in not only temperature but, like you said, weather and environment. By the way, I've been thinking about this for a while now, especially considering the latest One Piece chapter. I've been thinking about this for a while with just everything that's been going on, right? And not to express too much of a not to express too much of like the filler and stuff like that. I guess you know what chapter is the Atom Tree first showed in? What chapter is the Atom Tree in full view? $11:31. Thank you. Wow, this is 30. Wow, it will really take 60 episodes. Wow. No, it wouldn't be this one. Ah, well, let's just say this, right? We'll just use this one for now. 6th grade, I consider myself the strongest in all of Elfbath, but it is known as the Jewel Tree Atom, which would form the very Kingdom of War itself. The chains are of Sea Prism Stone. They rob me of my strength to keep me imprisoned. Roddy, Luffy, do you want to make a deal? Okay, so specifically this area up here, right? I've been thinking about the Atom Tree and like just like the way that it's been described for some for the characters overall. Ah, here it is. I've been thinking about the Atom Tree and just the way that it's been described throughout the context of the story, and I've been just... It's been rough because I've been thinking about it from the perspective of like, okay, so there are 3 realms within the context of the Atom Tree. The Underworld, the level where the most of the beings in Elfbath exist, and then there's the Sun Realm, which is all the way at the top of the tree. Do you guys believe that we will, at any point, if Naruto was in One Piece verse, would it be Yonko C1 level, Admiral level, or Yonko level? At best, probably like Yonko Commander, maybe Admiral. Because, like, here's the thing. Actually, I wouldn't even say Admiral, because to be an Admiral level combatant, you have to have the capacity to basically... You have to be able to perform continental feats casually, and I don't believe that Naruto or Sasuke can perform continental feats without, you know, really going at it, really trying hard. Can't believe you don't speak Spanish and we're LARPing. I definitely speak Spanish. I don't know what you're talking about. Is it making it past Donsai? Yeah, I think that anybody... I think that basically any character that should be stronger than Donsai, so in other words, any actual, like, high-end... Basically, any of the high-end warlords, Yonko commanders, etc. And I actually, now that I think about it, yeah, no. If he can't, I don't think he is as strong as Don Chinjao. I don't think he can hit as hard as Don Chinjao for the most part. But I guess if you give Naruto, like, the moon level stuff, I guess if you go by, like, the last, and you give Naruto, like, all the moon level stuff, then, like, sure, you can maybe argue Naruto is... Yeah, Yonko commander, admiral level. I am hoping to see the Heaven Realm. I am hoping to see the top of the tree. I do want to see the Sun Realm. I do want to see what it's about up there. Maybe throughout, like, the end of the arc. Maybe something interesting happens. I wouldn't understand why Oda would go out of his way to make such a massive environment and also represent all 3 portions without, at the very least, showing us what the Sun Realm has and what it's all about. But I will digress for now. Let me ask you, isn't the moon hollow in Naruto? Yes, the moon is hollow, so do with that information whatever you will. In the latest chapter, just one smaller branch of the Atom Tree was so big the chunks of it can crush Elbaf Mountains. Let's just look back at that. Let me just double check that real quick. By the way, let me just... Does this save as 1 page? It does save as 1 page. I am saving this for Erubaf. Okay, let's check out 1190. Actually, yeah, they are pretty damn big. This would be island size. This would likely be somewhere around like massive island sized chunks. Yeah, some of the smaller mountains. Some of the smaller island sized mountains are definitely getting crushed. Yeah, the Atom Tree is vastly bigger than the God Tree, more like the baby demigod tree. I've been seeing a lot of posts on it. If you guys want, I can try to pull up that group again so that you guys can see some of the posts that I've been seeing. There was one guy that I saw that like quite literally said that like each of the five major countries of the five great nations in Naruto are all the sizes of continent, dude. I'm just sitting there thinking to myself like, where the fuck did you get that from? Yeah, some of the dream monsters do dwarf the mountains. Did you not pay attention to the debate server? Were you not exposed by Charles in general discussions? I was not. I don't really check out the Discord. I think you guys know that by now. For me, it's I'm gonna be honest. For me, it's like in waves and droves. I think for the most part, whether or not I reply to someone on social media, hell, even my own girlfriend, how often I reply to somebody in terms of messages does depend on like my mental state for the day. I've been from a bit of like the personal life aspect. I got a new therapist because my old one ended up leaving. I haven't seen the EDP documentary, by the way, Zadoxa. I was meaning on doing it last night because I found out through a Moist Critical that it was out. I want to see it. I want to see what the fuck was going on with that. Because, like, from the Moist Critical video, some of the shit EDP was saying was insane, and I think I started cracking up when this motherfucker was talking about all of his greatest idols. He was talking about, like, Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit. And I just found it so funny, because, like, the dude it's just a big dude that's just a completely fucked up human being, but he's wearing, like, overalls and, like a kind of like a work teacher suit type shit. It was just funny to me. How EDP isn't in jail already is confusing me. So the reason why EDP isn't in jail, and I found that out through the Poist Critical video, the reason why he isn't in jail specifically is because the guys who did like the Predator Catcher thing, they fucked up. The police couldn't technically make EDP, they couldn't technically like send EDP to jail legally because even though what he was doing was a crime, the way by which the guys who exposed him fucked up, essentially, dude, Chris Chen made an appearance. Yeah, Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen made an appearance. I never watched it, but I'm not gonna lie, I was wondering why it took so long for it to happen. Yeah, I don't know. The Divine Tree wins. I don't know how you can genuinely believe that, but sure. I accidentally switched the names in my head before answering the poll. Atom Tree is way bigger than the God Tree. Yeah, you're fine. So what reasons do they claim? I'll send you guys, I'll show you guys the posts. I'll look them up real quick. Naruto versus Luffy Group FB. Let me look that up real quick. It was like one of these two. Yeah, it was this one. Some people made a comparison or whatever. I saw this one earlier. This one was funny. I'm starting to get like a lot of like my video discussion topics from like these videos, and if you guys ever comparing the God Tree to Elbaph's geography, don't know why this is so hard to grasp. The God Tree in Naruto is literally the height of one world in Elbaph. You compare it to the Horizon, which is stupid, especially since the Naruto world is significantly smaller than a quarter of the One Piece planet, and it's actually being generous. Your God Tree goes past the height of cumulus clouds. Elbaph's mountains are in the underworld, has their own weather system, and goes far beyond those clouds. Matter of fact, think of it like this. One room in a giant house has clouds at the top. LMAO, and you want to compare it to a tree based on Yggdrasil from Norse mythology? I've seen some people say that you can see the God Tree from space. Cool. You know what else you can see from space? The Himalayas. Again, that doesn't mean anything if your planet is smaller in scale. But yeah, glad we got this under control. There was let me see if I can find it. There were some really egregious like arguments I saw about this. Which tree is bigger? Let's see what some people. The Atom Tree is basically a continent in on itself. I think people have a hard time understanding the scale. The tree has entire villages on it. This isn't close. The Chakra Tree is supposed to be bigger, but there's too much inconsistency in the scale of Naruto things. Now, I want to see an actual post on this. But yeah, before we get into this, well, I look for the post. Yeah, so I got a new therapist. We only had like a very short discussion, all things considered. We only had a very short because we have to like basically like get to know each other. My previous therapist kind of left the location that we were that she was working at, so I was kind of like sad about that because like I don't always do well with like, you know, not having closure in certain aspects with people, and I've been going to her for like almost 10. It would have been 10 years next year, but Yeah, no, I don't know. It just made me kind of sad. I'm gonna see how like things go with this new one, but she did bring up something that usually I don't talk about, but she did bring up something that made me realize like why I have such like a drastic change in I tend to have like such a drastic change in my own emotional states from like week to week. And you know, it got me thinking. Like, I definitely do need to do like a little, a bit of a better job at recognizing and understanding when I'm like in a down period versus when I'm in like in a manic period. I mean, Chris Chan, Handsome did as well, but Wings of Redemption and Boogie. Oh, I don't know who the fuck they are. I'm gonna be honest with you. Chris Chan, yeah, I don't know. So you could get him. You could get him with his documentary. No, I mean, he's straight up admitting he wanted to do his. I'm hoping that it does. I mean, they literally said, literally. So literally in the fucking video, there is a scene I think with a. Literally in the documentary, there is a scene where I think a lawyer is telling EDP that he will go to jail if he posts this thing. I don't know, man. I'm just here to tell you that I'm just here to tell you that like hopefully he does go to prison. You know, jokes aside, as funny as I think the dude looks, and as funny as I think like he tries to make himself sound like a like not a badass. That would be like the completely incorrect. He tries to make himself sound like dangerous and like rough or whatever. He really tries to make himself sound like what he is, and I mean, I don't find that to be the funny part. I just think that the concept itself is funny. That, you know, a guy who basically got away with it is now making a whole documentary showing that like he just doesn't give a fuck. He's really trying to do it, and I think just the way that the dude is built is funny to me. But either way, I don't know. It's fucked up. Completely fucked up. Easily the Adam Tree. Oh, wait, who's going to prison? EDP. EDP 445. They made a whole he took part in his own documentary where he talks about diddling kids. So are people trying to upscale the One Piece planet again? It's not so much they're trying to upscale the One Piece planet. They're just saying this a world as large as One Piece is, unquantifiably so, but a world as large as One Piece is, and some people are now arguing that the God Tree is bigger than the Adam Tree simply because it's Naruto. Oh yeah, we talked about this on Saturday. Yeah, we did talk about it on Saturday. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think it's absolutely insane. I think it's absolutely gross, but at the same time, the way that, again, just the way the dude is built and just the way that he talks just makes me laugh. Ever since I was a kid, it made me laugh. But like, no, I think that like the dude should genuinely go to prison after basically admitting to doing all of the terrible things that he's done. Wait, how long ago did EDP? It was definitely has been years. I just don't know the rough estimate. Probably like within the last 10 years. Just think about it like this within the last 10 years. Who's your favorite One Piece villain? Mine is my goat Magellan, Kaido, or Emu. I like Kaido or Emu. I don't know. I like the strong villains. I don't know. I mean, the One Piece planet is massive considering the huge island size. A Nevadan lawyer said... A Nevadan... I don't know why I said Nevadan. A Nevadan lawyer said that the documentary will put him in jail, and he was diagnosed with liver failure, where the average lifespan post-diagnosis is 5 years. He was diagnosed 4 years ago. So EDP just doesn't give a fuck. He could go to jail, he could go to prison. He doesn't care. Like, the guy's just over it. Okay, so let's see what this prison says. Let's start with the God Tree. Genbu Island starts at about the same size as Zunesha, so about 5 kilometers. Why does Genbu Turtle Island start about that distance? What is the size? What is the size of Genbu Turtle Island? Turtle Island, Naruto. Does not have an official size. Okay. So, saying that it's 5 kilometers is already objectively incorrect. That's like 75 Loki on top of each other, and you can see that guy's Hirudora is 4 to 5 times bigger than the island, so it means the attack is about 20 kilometers. Okay. So they're just using pixel scaling, and they're just using basically... Yeah, so they're just basically just doing pixel scaling and all that garbage. Okay. I see what it's doing. So I don't care about any of that. On the left, you can see Shanks' ship at Elbaf. Let's see where Shanks' ship was. Okay, the Adam Tree, sure. And so, what does he say? We know that from the Beaver cart that the ship is 100 meters in height, and those are Elbaf base mountains. I know there is a perspective and all, but you can argue that the mountains on the left panel are nearer to us, the viewer, than the ship itself. Considering the distance of the mountain trees in the panel, about 10 times bigger than the ship, so 1 kilometer, and the end of the panel, yada yada yada. We can see with all those fit around the mountains and make Elbaf around 10 kilometers in height. We can also see that Elbaf is about 3 times taller than it's wide. I'm talking about the main body of the trunk, not including the branch, so 10 kilometers. Wait. On the right side of the panel, and since the island from one perspective. Okay, so yeah, it's just fucking basically triple scaling. Wow. I don't know. I don't think we've seen the full... Yeah. Let me just see some of the photos. Yeah. Okay. So bullshit's all I heard. He also said missing his treatments could kill him within a 5-day period. He doesn't want to lose 100 pounds for surgery. He's just delaying the inevitable. Also, he has an AI girlfriend. Yeah, no, EDP just sounds like a guy who basically said, my life was ruined. Everyone found out I'm a pedophile. I might as well go through with it. And then, just go through with it. Yeah, just fuck it. Just let himself go off. Say, come to all of his crimes. Say whatever the fuck, because it doesn't matter. The whole time it would take to, like, prosecute him and do everything would probably kill him before, he would probably be in jail for, like, maybe, like, a month or two before he just dies. Yeah, I would argue that they're Yonko level. I would argue that they were Yonko level. Are there any more arguments that I've seen regarding this? Any more arguments that we can see? Let's look it up on Google, actually. Let's look it up on Google. God Tree Naruto versus Adam Tree One Piece. Yeah. What does this one say? Oh, this was one of the posts that I found. that was the post. Which is taller? Let me look it up. Which is taller? Which is taller? Is vastly taller than the Adam tree. Okay, and what was the... So yeah, they did use, Oh, they're still just using this post. Wow. Man, Google AI sucks, dude. Wow. It really just grab whatever fucking thing is, like, the most popular... Okay. Or the Shinju. Let's see what Comic Vine, GameSpot, discussions are. Hey, what's up? He also said the missing treatment could kill him. Again, for pixel scaling to be effective, the author would have to require to draw everything pixel perfect to scale. Don't use the AI overuse. I'm not using it. I'm just seeing what it says. I'm just seeing what the source is. I never use the AI overview for anything other than, like, you know, like something that I need to just, like, look up quickly. I don't really use AI to, like, help me out and, like, look stuff up unless it's like, yeah, I looked up something specifically, or just to look up, like, a specific manga panel. I don't really care for, like, AI uses. My mom's really gotten into ChatGPT lately. I also read this post from this guy. Yo, talk about disingenuous. Imagine eating the Nika fruit, the strongest one in the verse, having it for 1,400 episodes and still not realizing its powers or how to use it. Luffy must be the most stupid MC out there, out of them all there, LOL. Yeah, this dude. Yeah, this dude, I read this post, like, I think it was on... Oh, wait, no, it must have been yesterday then. Because it says 1 day ago. I read this post and I was like, dude, there is no way people actually post this garbage. It's far too tall and its base is far more broader. Though the stump of the tree was pretty much the same as Yggdrasil, should be larger. The giant's home alone would be larger than a mountain, and it's dwarfed by the mountains below. Okay. Yggdrasil, and it's not even close. Whichever one of these is taller. Why are they calling it Yggdrasil? One Piece or the Shinju tree? Ah. They're calling this one Yggdrasil. Okay. Pretty much the same as the Yggdrasil. Yeah. Shinju in terms of height. I've seen Naruto fans wanking, making mountains 3 times planet level. Shinju is much larger by looking at them. The top of Yggdrasil is the cloud level, which is the base. Do these motherfuckers think that Elbaf is only this fucking tall? That is so funny. Motherfuckers think that Elbaf is only, like, this tall. Yeah. Some people just talk out of their ass. This is what I mean when I say, like, you guys really need to, like, let go of people who, like, make stupid fucking posts on social media, because, like, I'll be honest, I see shit like this, and I mean, you can comment or whatever. Let's see what the comments say. No, I am not signing in. I just want to read some of the comments. View more answers. Alright, let's see what other answers are there. Let's see. You just say you want to rage bait. Luffy thinking it's a rubber devil fruit, improvised a lot, pushing it to plenty of lengths and abilities up until the lengths weren't strong enough. Even after getting Gear 5, he still doesn't know the full extent of his powers. He's still improvising, testing, making random use of his abilities. Weren't y'all laughing when Luffy turned into a genie? Now you're saying shit. One Piece is GOAT. Y'all haters just keep kicking rocks. There's no Luffy thinking, man. Roger's crew should have already told him by now since he's facing Imu. It's dog writing? Okay. Posts like this are genuinely sad because they really go through so many mental gymnastics just to convince themselves that something they don't like must be bad. Imagine trying to logically dissect a series that you don't actually read or watch. Holy shit, that's a big comment. The fuck? How did you conclude that I don't watch it? The fuck, man? Because your whole post shows you didn't watch it. Because a person who actually sits down and watches the entirety of the series wouldn't go out of their way to make a post this lame and sad if they put him in the slightest iota of attention to the plot. Just say you don't like the series, and if you watched it, then good for you, but do everyone else, including yourself, a favor and just move on, dude. The thing I find sad about people like you is that you can't even hide the fact that you are genuinely biased against the series, because every single comment that you make in all of these groups, oh holy shit, in some way, shape, or form, either puts down the series from a power scaling perspective or from a story-based perspective. I genuinely cannot comprehend the energy that people like you put into trash a series you don't like, as if anyone genuinely cares that much. But the worst part is that you're straight up disingenuous and genuinely believe that you don't see it. How can you genuinely put in the time and cognitive energy to sit there and say that Luffy doesn't know how to use a devil fruit when the whole point of awakening is the fact that his body and mind caught up to the devil fruit's potential? This post only proves that you're either nothing more than a rage-baiting loser or you're just straight up dense. And I genuinely think you should reconsider how you spend your time on this earth rather than trashing a series you could genuinely just ignore. Please grow up. Holy shit. I'm telling you, Eon, it's just Kishimoto depicts scale that scrambles their reasoning. It's almost as if the last person that used it died a long, long time ago and his enemy blocked anyone from ever knowing about it. That would be crazy if it were the case. Since Nika Fruit is limitless, Joy Boys must have died because of plot or sacrificed himself or something. He should have been able to deal with Imu. We don't know, man. But man, Luffy is annoying to not give a damn about the only fruit that can deal with Imu. And the burden also falls on Roger's crew didn't guide Luffy good enough, and since they already know all the secrets. That's such stupid logic, bro. Eon and side scaling go hand in hand. Some people genuinely just hate One Piece. I have a friend that watched One Piece just so we could talk about how bad it is. Yeah, some people just do that shit, bro. I am not writing all of that if something is rage bait. That is true. Probably shouldn't give it that amount of time. They didn't tell me where One Piece is, but why would they risk... They didn't tell him where the One Piece is, but why would they risk losing Nika before the benefit of a brat mindset? Before the benefit of a brat mindset? Are you out of your mind? It's precisely because they know the true history and they understand the prophecies. Do you think Oda was just making shit up when he said, I don't win... If I don't win, Strong Pirates will come 20 years from now? Luffy, Law, and Kid went to Wano 20 years later. That's how Roger knew they were too early. Your understanding of the story doesn't mean it's incoherent. That's a skill issue. Everything is on Laugh Tale, man. Even the Nika Fruit is capable of. They know everything but choose not to tell. Vegapunk said they could come from different conclusions than we did. The entire point of the show hinges on the Void Century, and you're just supposed to tell him everything, despite knowing that they could come to a different conclusion and still have to wait for the promised time. Not gonna lie, these are stupid complaints because you're supposedly purposely ignoring the canon, which answers your complaints. Yeah. Some people are just dense. Some people are just really fucking dense, dude. He improvised everything he knows, though. There is nothing to teach him about his unique devil fruit. Yeah. I wonder how long Naruto would have gone with his Jinchuriki training without B and the ancient Jinchuriki training temple plus Kushina, or his Sage Mode training without the Toads. Uchigas have their stone plus their power, their powers. So ass pull that they can have to do is witness their crush to get donutted. Here we go. And then just stole your own brother's eyes, or just set up for life? Wow, this is crazy ass. What about Ichigo? He got Urahara, Yoruichi, Zangetsu / White, his own powers, 2 whole squads, the Vizards and Squad Zero to teach him everything. I'm sorry, but the 3 whole ass squads, I forgot about the Fullbringers, and he got bamboozled and spammed one attack the whole series. Oh yeah, but B and the others are actually choose to teach him stuff, not just throw Luffy in there bandit-handed. Yeah, Naruto people will teach him. Meanwhile, Luffy had no one. Okay. No one? You bad. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, just some disingenuous posts. I don't know. People like that, sometimes just not worth talking to. Like, why are people hating on Naruto? It's literally a great, One Piece. It's literally a great series. For the same reason people hate on Naruto. People just hate on something and choose and veritably choose to ignore everything that happens because, oh hey, I like to see things from the most basic, bare level perspective possible. They want a series to hate on. If they truly didn't like what they like it, they wouldn't care for it and focus on Naruto. But they need to put down another series in order to put theirs up. I don't know, man. It was about to happen. I warned Oda about Gege. These are the same motherfuckers that make the slop Luffy slander on Insta, but because he lost to the #1 in the verse, so much slander nowadays is just low quality slop. I agree. It's a lot of it is just low quality slop. It really just is low quality slop. Like, it's one of those cases where I personally just sit here and think, like, okay, you know, as an individual, I do think that, like, yeah, if you're spending all of the time on Earth, if you're spending your very limited amount of time on Earth talking shit about a series that you genuinely do, that you genuinely sit here and just constantly show that you're not actually watching it, you're not actually taking it in, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it just comes across as kind of crazy to me. Is the only way to get they can get up to FTL or above the made-up calculations because they don't have the feats. That's funny as fuck. Haku is Lightbeard. This is not under contention. Do you believe Curse Martazi is faster than Haku? Which isn't that weird of a take. Yes, it is. It is a very much a weird take. It is very much a weird take to have to think that Curse Mark Sasuke is faster than Haku with his ice mirrors. I would 100% argue that it would be the case. No one scales to Haku in part 1. If people are going to complain about plot, I could do the same on so many, not telling Naruto about his parents, and so on, which affects so much on his past and plot. Yeah. Made up calculations. These are using logical deductions, manga panels, feats is made up to you. Even if it's made up, why don't you go ahead and debunk it for me further? My post literally has feats, so what are you exactly when you say you don't have feats? I've also seen this dude a couple of times. This dude is 100% biased. Yeah, I don't know. Yep. Does anybody remember if Sasuke got that much slander for dying to a normal sword? No, Sasuke never got slander because around the time that it was happening, people weren't really making that many. Oh, I'll be honest with you. Though Sasuke getting stabbed, when did that happen? That was like around what, like the mid 2010s? Because Naruto ended around like 2015, 2016. What year did Naruto end? Let me look that up real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay. It happened so long ago, I don't even know if the term slander exists. It definitely happened over a decade ago. Sasuke definitely getting stabbed was like, 2015. So Sasuke getting stabbed by a normal blade was something that happened prior to 2015. So you have to, like, contextualize the context of the, you have to contextualize, like, the time period, right? Yes, there were people complaining about One Piece versus Naruto, but there wasn't as much back and forth. There wasn't as much can't women with muscles be straight? That's funny. They the toxicity towards and like the whole like tribalistic Naruto versus Luffy debacle wasn't really a thing. Like, it was a thing, but it wasn't like a big thing 10 years ago, bro. It wasn't as big. It wasn't as slanderous. It wasn't like there wasn't as much energy going on into it. At that point in the series, Sasuke got slander years after it. Like, people were rereading to do their slander. I do not agree with that in the slightest bit. I've been on social media for over a decade now. I've been on social media looking at these things for over a decade. Yeah, no. I've yet to see Sasuke even remotely get as much slander for getting stabbed by Madara as Luffy has in recent time for getting stabbed by Imu. And the real difference here is that Imu's blade absorbs life energy. Sasuke got stabbed by a regular blade. Why do people downscale? Yeah, and you know what? I will at least agree with you on one thing, One Smart. People do downscale, or at least Naruto fans do believe that Naruto does get downplayed a lot. Sasuke has only recently been slandered. Yeah, recently, more so and more so. Like, yeah, Sasuke got slandered when he got stabbed out of the eye. And mind you, I don't even remember, like, okay, I do remember Sasuke getting some slander for it, but it was never nearly this bad. Like, him losing his eye to Borushiki, it didn't, God, I hate saying that. Momoshiki didn't really come across as, like, that bad, all things considered, right? It was like, well, you know, some people are just making jokes, blah, 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 blah. Like, he got stabbed in the eye, yeah, it was an off guard, like, okay. Sasuke got stabbed by his own sword to boot, if I remember correctly. Kek W. Yeah. Speed-wise, you can't just ignore their base speed. The chakra amps become more insane throughout the series, arguably more than anything except for Bleach and Black Clover ending of their plot. Sasuke could receive Orochimaru's chakra boost, was already blitzing speed of sound attacks. The attack itself was explicitly stated to be sound speed with no wall barrier matter physical involved. So what about Naruto Shippuden? Are their chakra amps still stuck at their kids level? No, right? Even an average Jonin should be well beyond the level using chakra to enhance themselves. What about FTL? That's already the Kage level scaling to it? No, it's not. Most Kage do not scale to FTL. What are you lying about? Isn't it? They enhance their chakra and physical stance. It's the same in terms with Hawking, how they boost their power and speed or Jura. What about Casey and Naruto blitzing the Raikage's lightning armor mode? Sound speed, supersonic, lightning speed, speed of light. The beginning of KCM, FTL, KCM with the other tailed beast chakra that Naruto absorbed, made his friends. MFTL, KCM. Okay, so we're just making shit up. Also slandered Naruto for getting stabbed by Shin. Yeah, they did slander Naruto for that. And to be honest, that slander, I'm not gonna lie, to this day, I still cannot comprehend how Naruto got stabbed by that. Like, that right there is the scene that makes me say that Six-Path Senjutsu's precognition is dog shit. That right there is what makes me say that it is dog shit. Ishiki, not even close. Yeah, alright. Killingham, salt manifestation ability in Naruto. Need salt? Just dream it up. Killingham will manifest it for you. Absolutely S tier broken ability. No thought is saved around killing him. Easy, effortless, and entirely broken. That's funny. If Goku, how to push out a big poop, do you think it's blowing up? No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Let's see. Okay. Sasuke peaked in his teens. Since the academy has more or less the standard grade, Sasuke's basically a high school dropout. Not to mention, his deadbeat dad activity. I guess? I guess? Sure. Not sorry. The whole Boruto is cheeks in a trash can. Two blue vortex being mediocre at best doesn't save it. Okay, but you have an actual bias against Boruto, Memento. Come on now. I mean, Sasuke, I wouldn't say like he peaked in his teen years. I mean, he was just above average as far as the academy went. Like, people are calling him a genius and everything, but the dude's really just above average. Like, he really was. I mean, like, when you see some of the shit that some of the other shinobi were able to pull out from the Leaf, bro, it's like, I mean, is he, though? Like, is he really that crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's just me, though. Let me see. Let's see. 1 second, guys. Second. I gotta reply to this message real quick. I gotta go do something for my other thing later. Okay, I'm glad they confirmed that. Okay. Can I ask a W question? You can't ban me. If you ask me a question that involves anything regarding me, my girlfriend, Beans, etc., I will time you out. I mean, or something weird or gross. Nothing that's weird or gross either. I mean, Orochi, for as creepy as he was, taught Sasuke alike, despite also being disabled with his lack of working arms. Yeah, but he, like, the lack of working arms was only really a thing regarding, maybe he won't, but I might? Alright. The only real thing that you can really, like, argue for Orochimaru is that, like, okay, he did lose his arms against, Hiruzen, but he got at least functionally moving arms. He can't say that after I post it. Sure. So here's the thing, right? Orochimaru got a brand new body with a brand new set of arms, right? But the arms that essentially, like, involve, like, the soul inside his arms, I guess, like, the mental energy inside his arms or whatever for, like, most of his jutsu, they were inside of his... It's so weird. It's so weird. Orochimaru can clearly perform jutsu like Triple Rashomon, which I'm assuming is a summoning technique. It probably has to do with maybe like a summoning circle that he has like around his arms, because we know that Orochimaru does have some like tattoos around his arms that he probably got throughout some of his bodies, though there's also an argument to be made. Well, I mean, it was the body of that one guy that he took over at the end of Naruto of part 1, before moving on to part 2, where that same body was already starting to decay and it just couldn't handle him anymore. It was rejecting him, right? Going to have to go to all the comments to see it, though. Oro has a hand fetish. Does that mean that he's the opposite of a sniffer? No. Whatever. MUI Goku had tangled booty hair. Is Naruto strong enough to pull them apart? Yes, it's just fucking booty hair, bro. Come on now. Like, he lost his soul arms? Yeah, he lost, like, the souls of his arms. It's really weird. Let's just pull that up real quick. Actually, I don't think I have those because I don't think I didn't really, like, read through the Hiruzen portion of the fight because like, I just didn't have anything necessary in there. Tuning exams happen around here, so I'm assuming that, like, Konoha Crush... No, this is One Piece. What the fuck am I doing? One Piece, Naruto Color. Let's go back. Boruto Oro is low-key busted 5 nature transformations, his whole arsenal of jutsu and Hashirama cells. Yeah! Yeah, that version of Orochimaru was still evil and he went into the leaf. There would have been some issue. There would have been some shit. Do you think Sage Jiraiya could beat Orochimaru end of Shippuden? No. Jiraiya is likely the weakest of the... I would argue Jiraiya is the weakest of the Sannin, even with Sage Mode. You can argue that Tsunade with the strength of 100 healings is far more powerful, and you can also argue that Orochimaru never had a chance to fully go all out. But there is an argument that Jiraiya was just consistently the weakest of the three. Wait, this Killingham dude is actually this broken. Sounds like I've got to look forward to Elpath gets dubbed in the anime. Please no spoilers. I won't spoil it for you, but Killingham is very much fucking stupid in terms of his abilities. I'm the best commenter hero. Well, you are top 3 in chat right now, so keep it up. Okay, so let's go through these. I find it weird. I really do genuinely find it weird. Also, never summons any of the other giant toads in this fight. Just doesn't show up to fight Orochimaru. I find that always to be a little crazy, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just skip ahead until we see the... Is it ever explained how Orochimaru healed his arms? I know he swapped bodies, but the arms of his souls were sealed. Yeah, so he lost the ability to do jutsu, but then he's also still capable of doing jutsu. I'm assuming that the context of this is, hey. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, my love?
I'm good. I'm just leaving work now.
Lovely, lovely. I'm streaming.
Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't get the notification. I didn't think you... Oh, my bad. My bad. I'll let you go.
Wait. Let chat... Say hi to chat.
Oh, hi, chat. Hi. I hope everyone's doing okay.
You heard that, chat? She hopes every one of you is doing okay. Even you, Julio, and your... Why the fuck is your 9 months member thing say it's time to give birth? Alright. Alright, I gotta go.
Congratulations on the baby.
She said congratulations on the baby. Pretending to have a real girlfriend? I'm not pretending to have a real girlfriend. I have a real girlfriend. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, she said it. It's her. See?
Yeah,
Alright.
let them know.
Yeah, let them know. I'll let them know. Yeah. See, she said let them know, Chad. Fuck you guys. Anyway, let me let you go, my love. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay, bye. Have a good stream.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Congratulations on your birth, bro. Type shit. AI voice box back at it again. That's crazy. That's a shinobi's strength emerges when he or she is defending something precious to them. Okay. You can no longer use either arm, and thus you can no longer weave signs. I'm assuming that the idea, as he stated, you can no longer weave signs, therefore you should no longer be capable of using your jutsu. But then we have something that we have to cover then. We kind of have to cover then. And it's, the Tenchi Bridge stuff. Does Orochimaru at any point in this scene, do actual hand signs? Let's double check it. Bro went from poly AI to have a pre-recorded and scripted combo with a supposed real girlfriend acting like that shit ain't AI generated. You guys know a lot more about AI than I thought, I'm not gonna lie. You guys know a lot more about AI, and it's crazy. I don't know, man. I mean, you could choose to believe it. You could choose to believe that I don't have a girlfriend. Anyway. And that she's AI, I suppose. I guess the easiest thing I can say to this is that, like, Orochimaru doesn't technically use any hand signs. Like, yeah, no, Orochimaru doesn't ever do hand signs. Like, I don't know if I would call him biting his fingers and slapping both hands on the ground a hand sign, because those aren't hand signs. That's just the activation of the summoning jutsu. So, I guess it was narratively consistent. Orochimaru doesn't ever really perform hand signs at once during all of Shippuden, and I know for a fact he doesn't do it during the Sasuke fight. So I'm guessing that Eon, congrats on getting the girl, man. I appreciate it. I got her like 8 months ago, 9 months ago. and I didn't get her. We got each other. Didn't hand signs stop being used in Shippuden? No, hand signs are still used in Shippuden. It's just that many of like the OP characters didn't necessarily have to use hand signs, right? It does suck though. I think that it's kind of crazy because like, all right, the water dragon jutsu is, for example, and I kind of want to bring this up. I remember like in early Naruto, right? A big topic of conversation was always, and as many people always bring up, it's just the lack of like hand signs being used. But like in early Naruto, I specifically remember it. Let's pull out the Kakashi, not the water bubble jutsu, the other garbage. Right here. That Kakashi and Zabuza all essentially use, like, a metric fuck ton of hand signs just to perform the Water Dragon Jutsu, which, like, in context, Water Dragon Jutsu's so fucking trash, dude. Tell your girlfriend I know she's real and that you are the AI. I'm onto her. You are about as real as birds or the stock market. Yeah, you're right. I'm definitely not real. Totally just the, I'm totally as fake as the stock market. Is there any One Piece character who's creepier than Orochimaru? Creepier than Orochimaru. Creepier than Orochimaru. Creepier than Orochimaru. Hogback. One Piece. This guy. Probably this guy. I would certainly argue that this guy is creepier than Orochimaru. He is immensely arrogant, extremely proud of his reputation as a genius. However, despite saving the lives of numerous people with his medical knowledge and ability, Hogback considers patients as an annoyance and that he'd put up for the sake of the money they provided, and viewed the doctors who could not help his patients themselves as morons. His view of the doctors contrasts sharply from those of Tony Chopper, who believes that a true doctor must save all patients no matter what, which led to the conflict between the two. Hogback believes that the help of Moria's powers to animate corpses and shadows has finally managed to overcome death by bringing corpses to life, dismissing the fact that the personality of a zombie is vastly different than the one that they held in life, and that their wills are bound to Moria. He does not care about the fate of his undead creations and the people whose shadows were stolen to create them. Despite insisting that they are alive, Hogback has no respect for his creations, viciously abusing them and humiliating them, and reanimated Victoria Sindri during his fight with Chopper and Nico Robin just to prove a point. This might ending up in an immensely humorous situation due to the actions of Sindri. Hogback can be serious at times. Yeah, I would say he's probably worse. He made Sindri, so he's okay in my book. Sindri? Oh, the Celestial Dragons. Yeah. Well, the Celestial Dragons really that creepy per se. I guess the ones that would essay people just for the sake of doing it. I guess so. Yeah. My hairline just called you. She says she misses me. My hairline is here. My hairline is 100% here. Thanks to Finasteride. Damn, Hiruzen went out so sorry. Took only the hands, yeah. Yeah, took out his hands and then basically got yelled at by his fucking ex-pupil. Would you say Akainu is scarier than Orochimaru in an intimidating way, not a creepy way? That is... From a militant way. From a military way, I would say maybe, but like no, Orochimaru is scarier than him because Orochimaru actually experimented on children. That's too far, Julio. AIs don't have hair. Be respectful, please. Alright. Let me ask you guys a question because I do have to cover this for the video, and I was gonna cover this for the next portion, but since I'm splitting it up into different portions, it doesn't really matter at this point, and I don't want people being mad at me. Actually, I do need to talk about this. Do you think that East Blue Luffy can beat Gamma Bunta? What do you guys think? Can East Blue Luffy beat Gamma Bunta consistently or no? The Goku question was okay, but not this one? Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy. Objectively, yes. Does Naruto have any good war generals or strategists that aren't Shikamaru? Shikaku, his dad. Shikaku is a war general slash strategist. I guess Kurama, Shikaku, Shikamaru. I guess Kakashi in a sense. I think it's a very close match, which shows how far Luffy is from Naruto. Luffy one-shotted a Lord of the Coast. Chapter 1 Luffy over Sea King over Gamabunta. Luffy literally one-shotted a Sea King. Yeah, but the Lord of the Coast was kind of like the size of a small, of like one of like the giant snakes, right? A 30-meter sea cow showing size doesn't matter, you know. Luffy the animal abuser. I would say that size does matter to an extent. I would say that size in One Piece does matter. I mean, giants are just naturally more powerful just due to their size alone. You can train up a marine soldier all you want, but if you put him up against a giant, it kind of does. Like, it matters and it doesn't matter. It matters for people on the weaker end of scale, but it doesn't matter from a... It doesn't matter from a, from like an actual high-tier character perspective. I do think Gamabunta is stronger than Momu. What makes you say that? I'm looking for any counter-arguments possible. I'm looking for any arguments possible for Gamabunta versus Momu. And I'm not necessarily against the idea that Gamabunta can hit harder than Momu, simply because Gamabunta does fight, unlike Momu, who doesn't ever really get a chance to fight. Momu usually just gets bullied by everyone around him. So there is that. I should definitely add it. Size does matter. Context is king. Yeah, context is king. Like, we could sit here and say that it doesn't, but I genuinely do believe that it does because, again, One Piece giants show that they have some of the most terrifying force, that the world government would want to have the giants with them because the giants themselves do help out. The giants themselves are an invaluable force in terms of, they are an invaluable force in terms of, Yo, Momu just ran the fuck away, dude. That's so funny to me. Momu really just, like, dipped the fuck out, dude. Momu really just got the fuck out. That was a bot, by the way. I don't care of the two things you said. I'm not that uptight. How tall is Gamabunta? 17 meters tall, AMV. He's 17 meters tall. Who's the biggest fraud? Megumi from JJK or Code from Boruto? Megumi's, like, okay, Megumi's not a fraud. He did not have the mentality to fully optimize the 10 Shadows. He did not have the mentality for Jujutsu. Code, on the other hand, is consistently wanked to be above Jigen, and guess what? He just gets constantly shit on. I don't know to what extent, but I don't know to what extent he's supposed to be stronger, but, yeah. Yeah, he, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. It's kind of crazy. Megumi about to use Mahoraga? Damn. Alright, I got this phone game. I got this phone game that I need to, like, do ads for every day to get enough points. So if you guys see me, like, just shut up for a little bit, it's because I'm basically just hitting all of my, hitting all of my dailies. Megumi about to use Mahoraga on Todo? Yeah. I would definitely argue Code. Chakra volume does not equal AP. Tornado warning got me prepping for your life. Jesus Christ, or I hope everything is safe, man. My mom recently showed me an earthquake that happened today in Colombia that basically took out, like, multiple buildings. It was fucking crazy. Please take care of yourself. Hope you and your family are fine. If you guys got a potential bunker, please use that. And I just genuinely hope that your houses are intact, dude. Seriously. In the big three, who do you think is the biggest bum in the big three? I would argue Ichigo Kurosaki or Aizen, but I guess I would be lynched by the internet mobs for that. So let me think. Who's the biggest fraud? Who is the biggest fraud in the series? Bro is on Rise of Kingdoms? No, I never tried one of those like big design of kingdoms. Gamabunta's at least strong enough for Jiraiya to think it's worth summoning him for fights. Well, he's strong. Well, I would say it's more of a personality thing. I would say it's definitely more of a personality thing, because, like, let me just show you. Like, Jiraiya just says that even he has a tough time, like, reining in like, Gamabunta, but it's definitely never a matter of, like, actual raw strength. Like, he never, whenever he summons Gamabunta, especially with, like, Orochimaru, it's not an issue. Like, I mean, Gamabunta, even I can't handle him. I mean, when it comes to, like, a fight, he clearly shows that he can handle Gamabunta, at least as far as, like, handling him in a fight. I would 100% argue it's based on personality. He called up and used too much chakra to have summoned him, of all things. He called up and used too much chakra to have summoned him, of all things. His control of it is still far from stable. Yeah. I mean, at the end of series, Ichigo, and I mean that at end of series Ichigo, yeah. At least Ichigo had a good relationship with his family compared to Naruto. Well, as far as, like, a fraud goes, you could have a good relationship with your family and still be a fraud. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you could 100% just have, like, the best relationship possible with a family member and still, you know, still be a fraud. Ichigo has one move. Do you think Crocodile can be turned into glass? I always did think about that. If Crocodile fought someone like Sukuna, could the individual grains of sand just be turned into glass via the divine flame? I guess. Ichigo not a bum bro, unlike the guy who chased a murderer half of the show. I think Ichigo is a bum because he really does need some kind of, like, cop-out at the end of almost every one of his fights. I'm not gonna lie, but, he needs some kind of, like, mental cop-out. I don't know. The guy should be capable, like, okay. You call Megumi a fraud. People call Megumi a fraud. I'm not saying you specifically, but people in general call Megumi a fraud because, like, okay, when a fight gets too much, he'll bring out Maharaga. Or because Megumi's supposed to have one of the strongest abilities in the verse, but he, again, just does not have the mentality for it. And yet there's Ichigo Kurosaki, who literally spends so many fights taking so much needless damage when at the end of a fight, he basically just says, you know what? I just decided I can't lose anymore, and then just one-shots his opponent. Like, come on now, man. Come on now. Like, Ichigo versus, what's his face? What's this dude's name? Ichigo versus Grimmjow. It's like, let me find that shit, right? I have to defeat all of you, then he stabs him, right? Oh, yeah. Like, right here, bro, he says, sorry, Grimmjow. Like, all of a sudden, as soon as your Horihime says something, Ichigo's like, alright, looks like I'm not allowed to sustain any more damage, and just starts hurting him, bruh. Like, Ichigo's just right now, just starting to, like, fuck with Grimmjow and shit. Even his strongest attack, Grimmjow, who was fucking him up for most of the fight, Ichigo's just like now, just parrying and just completely destroying his strongest attack and just flying at Grimmjow, breaking through everything. And it's like, bro, if you just locked in for a single fucking second, this could have been the start of the fight, bro. Like, come on, I don't know, man. With Ichigo, it's always a matter of like, oh, let's look at Aizen, right? Let's look at fucking Aizen. He fucks him up the entirety of, like, the fake Karakura Town, like, the end of the fake Karakura Town shit. He's always constantly fucking up Aizen until he just decides to lock in. Yeah, he was really just bored, man. Like, Kubo is a mental nerf merchant when it comes to Ichigo fights. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like the entire time that Ichigo's fucking up Aizen, he's just slashing him, he's just cutting him, he's just doing all of these things. And you know what? I'm gonna call it out right now. This moment where, like, Aizen tries to, like, grab Ichigo, transform, tries to grab him, tries to blast him and everything. It's like all he did was burn one of Ichigo's arms. The one arm that Ichigo uses for an actual attack, Ichigo just straight up slashes this attack away. It's like, bro, you're still stronger than Aizen. Why are you using Mugetsu? Just keep hacking and slashing away at him, my guy. Or just use Mugetsu from the fucking start of the fight, dude. It's like, it's always just a build-up fight. Pantera is cool-looking, though. It's not cool-looking to me. That, like, what is... I don't get this attack. Okay, Pantera, I don't get this attack. Desgaron, I do not get this attack at all. What is supposed to be the attack? Is it supposed to be, like, giant slashes that pop up, and then he just, like, sends them forward at you? What is the attack supposed to be? Is it a slashing attack? Is it a piercing attack? It's just a fucking energy blast, bro. It's just a sharp energy blast. That's all it is. Like, I'm sorry, when you really just look at it, when you really just look at half of these abilities and skills, when you actually look at them with any logical sense, it's like, what the fuck do half of these attacks do? I looked at this attack when I was like 16, 15 years old, and I saw this attack, no, 14 years old, what the fuck am I talking about, like 14, 15. When I first saw this attack, I was just like, what the fuck is this attack supposed to be, like a giant energy slash? Yeah, it's just an energy slash! Who cares, like, oh, it's supposed to look cool? Yeah. I meant the overall look, nothing on Ulquiorra's, though. Fair enough, but it's like, I don't know, I don't like the look. I mean, I don't know. The Pantera look, I didn't like it. I didn't like the hair, I didn't like the weird IE makeup thing that he had. I didn't like the weird looking thin legs. Like, I don't know, man, it's just weird. Even Byakuya could replicate that Grimmjow attack. You saw this for the first time when you were 30, when the chapter came out, now you're 47. Fuck you, I was fucking 15, dude. I was 15 years old, man. I was 14, 15 years old. Got all aligned with your inner anime lover? I'm sorry, I don't have an inner anime lover anymore. I am a grown-ass man who no longer looks at things because they look cool. I like things based on how much logic they has behind them and how intricate it is and all that garbage. Yeah. How strong would Ichigo be if he came up with an attack other than the Unga Bunga slashes or Getsuga? He would be stronger. Eon reminiscing about his 50s. You know what, bro? You know what? I hope the tornado sends a cow through your fucking roof, bro. I hope that tornado sends a fucking cow in a mailbox through your roof, man. And I hope the cow stays alive, but I hope it sends a cow railing through the fucking roof, man. This is crazy. By the way, all I'm saying is... Man, Ichigo is a fucking fraud, dude. It already did? Oh, man. Damn. Then I hope it sends a second cow, and both cows fuck, and by the time you and your family go back and check all the damages and everything in the inside of the house is fine except for the roof, you guys will see in your attic two fucking, just a bunch of cows. Just a bunch of, like, reproduced cows just bringing in your fucking, logic. I'm crying. What do you think Naruto curiously scales in AP? I can give Naruto moon level to, planetary AP if I go by a specific, Boruto data book. If I go by one specific Boruto databook, I will argue that Naruto is anywhere between moon level from the last to planetary. What will you do about the second cow, Eon? I wonder what they're gonna do about the second cow. Don't even get me started on 1,000-Year Blood War. Yeah, all of this shit is really just energy wings, energy attacks, energy blasts. It's nothing interesting to me. I'm sorry. When it comes to Bleach, it's either you have a massive energy blast or you have it's either massive energy blast or a hyper convoluted energy that just loses to you being stronger. I hope your Luffy vs Naruto video blows up. Then One Piece power scaling meta can become common and bullshit that some haters can say stop. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, you guys can share it. You guys can just click. You guys could just like go to any fucking social media place and just be like, here, or any social media group that like that Naruto versus Luffy Facebook group, and just be like, this guy made a 2-hour video on why Luffy beats Naruto in the first 100 chapters. He said he's doing a whole series. You guys could just do that. You guys can be my social media. You guys could be like my social media what's it called? HR team. I guess it's not. I guess it would be HR. I guess it would be like my media outlet. You guys will expand and post all of my stuff. I saw a multi-continental Whole Cake Island Luffy scale. The world is healing. Is Bleachverse stronger than One Piece? I would argue from a speed and physical standpoint, no, but they got hexes. What do you think would win between fully monsterized Garo versus Zoro? I have no fucking clue, Jerome. I have never once read One Punch Man for power scaling purposes. Marketing. You guys are my marketing team. My PR team. Yes, my public relations marketing team. Yeah. Kubo isn't very creative in depicting fights, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I think so. Mind you, if Ichigo ever fired a Getsuga's shit show at Inuyasha, Inuyasha is Uno reversing that attack back at him. That's funny. PR is what you're looking for. I appreciate it. Yeah. It is what I am looking for. All right. So Gamabunta. So the reason why I keep bringing up Gamabunta is because I decided to split up the video into multiple parts after I wrote this. And what I've got right now is, okay, Eon, but you still haven't even talked about Gamabunta. You kept referencing him and Momu because of their sizes, but Gamabunta is a super cool ninja toad, and Momu is just a giant, stupid sea cow that gets bullied. That gets bullied. Bullied every time he's on screen. Every time he's on screen. Okay. Gamabunta is hard to handle even for Jiraiya, a Sannin, so why wouldn't he be a problem for Luffy, especially if Naruto summons him? Alright, I'll talk about Gamabunta. Let me be real here, the only reason why I've been holding off this long is because I genuinely do believe that Luffy can take down the Giant Toad. If it hasn't already been blatantly obvious, Gamabunta is much smaller than Momu. In fact, he's less than half the size of Momu canonically. So, now, some of you might, side, not Momu, canonically. WCI Luffy to just Continental is kind of low. Whole Cake Island Luffy to just Continental is low. I agree, it's low, but you can. It doesn't matter. Just keep it at that if you don't want anyone. Okay, so let me just say this before I get into the Momo stuff. The reason why you kind of have to keep it around like the continental to multi-continental ranges is really just because you have to basically sit there and argue that like Luffy is progressively getting stronger, and you can make the arguments through him fighting, then eating, him having to become stronger than his previous Gear 4 self in order to keep up with Katakuri. But the fact is that you don't have a direct statement saying that any of the characters can, like, destroy multi-continents or a moon or whatever, so you kind of just have to keep it within that continental range. You have to. There's no way of getting around it unless you do some Mont Dore shit. Did you have any thoughts on City to Mountain Dofi? I think it's disingenuous, and I won't even be remotely entertaining it. There's, objectively speaking, no reason for me to entertain that. I can bring it up, but, I mean, Dressrosa is a massive country. Viola can see the entirety of it within 40 kilometers. No, sorry, 4,000 kilometers. But she can't see into Greenbit, which means that Dressrosa has to be somewhere around that continental range, because the United States is slightly over 4,000 kilometers. I think you know who argued that. Yeah. The country level stuff, that wouldn't make any sense either, because that would by virtue make Don Chinjiao and Don Sai have higher AP than Doflamingo in terms of AP. That would mean that Don Chinjiao and Don Sai could have beaten Doflamingo if instead of Luffy by that logic, and we know that that would never have been the case. But anyway. Now, some of you might be wondering why size matters, and the answer is quite simple. Because it does. To an extent. Sure, there may be characters within the context of both stories, like Luffy and Naruto, that can handle... that can, to an extent, interact with large creatures, but the difference here is that both stories do play into this idea that to an extent a creature does to an extent that the size of a creature does to an extent impact its strength. One of the reasons why the summoning jutsu is so invaluable within the context of Naruto isn't just because you have an ally that you can bring out in the middle of a fight, but it is also that it also allows the user to expand on their techniques and gives them a much larger area which they can damage. A much larger area, and gives them a much larger area of effect for certain moves. Okay. EB meaning East Blue? Don't know. Yeah, East Blue. East Blue Luffy. If you wanted to see my most recent or second most recent post, I went over him using literal AI. Wait, who are you talking about? Let me pull up YouTube then. You said you were doing TikTok content. Can I just look you up on TikTok as well, Aura? Transformers, Exterminators, Megatronus. Whoa, that's cool. Okay, TikTok. Let me look up. Is it still Straw Hat Aura on TikTok? All one word? Straw Hat Aura. Straw Hat Aura TikTok. Yo, it's the homie. Yo. Look at that handsome ass young man picture. Yo. What would you like to watch on TikTok? Nothing. I don't have TikTok. Ooh, what's this one?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm getting so tired of the Naruto-verse versus the One Piece verse debates. It's so played out.
And
Have
yet
a
you
good one,
made the
Mental.
video anyway, so let's hear what you have to say.
And now I've gotten the most disrespectful request from a Naruto fan. Boruto versus these three admirals. I think we all know that Boruto can beat each of them individually in one-on-ones. I'm fairly certain all One Piece fans would agree on that.
I'm gonna
Nope.
be honest, Boruto can 1v1 any of the three admirals. Granted, they're gonna force feed him his own knees, but he can still fight them.
If you're gonna try to say in one-on-ones that they would beat Boruto, just don't comment. You're making One Piece fans look really bad, not great for the community.
I'll make it a video then, since my take doesn't pass the purity test. And the purity test is that all Naruto characters start in their strongest forms, even if it's out of character or takes prep time to achieve, launches their strongest attack while the One Piece character stands there picking their fucking nose and takes it to the face. If you don't believe that every Naruto versus One Piece fight goes exactly like that, word for word, bar for bar, your take is considered so horrible that people won't even engage with you.
If you're gonna argue that they can't be touched because they're devil fruits, then Cross vs. Equalize
The one I
Haki
meant, but you
equals
can
chakra,
watch
so
this
chakra
too.
from
Yeah.
Valkyrie and ninjutsu should be able to harm them.
Chakra and
I only picked on this one because I recognized the dude because I started getting power scaling content on my Instagram, which is something that I didn't want to happen because I'm trying to stay as far away from power scaling as possible on my day-to-day. And yeah, it just started popping up for me too when I saw this guy, and I'm just like, dude, I don't have the energy to make a fucking video on this dude.
Haki are two wildly different power systems, and I'm noticing
Does
it's
the world-
only ever the Naruto
Does Whole Cake Island cut Kizaru? What are you talking about? Whole Cake Island? I don't know what WCI is. Whole Cake Island. I hate Genjutsu merchants. He's great at baiting. Yeah, he's definitely great.
scalers trying to pretend they're not. You're the one arguing for Naruto characters, right? Use your own fuck-ass power system. You're not getting Haki.
That's like a staple of versus battles.
Never has been, never will be.
If you're not gonna cross versus Equalize, you don't need to, because Boruto has space-time
Oh.
ninjutsu. He doesn't need to touch.
Yeah, I was thinking World Cutting Slash. Yes, the World Cutting Slash can cut Kizaru. He's just going to put himself back together because all it does is sever the existence between the broad stroke of the slash. Wherever the World Cutting Slash is targeting, whatever it is targeting, whatever it is going through, that existence itself is being split. However, Kizaru, because it's not a Haki-based technique, Kizaru would be slashed by it, 100%, no Haki, no nothing. It is going to cut him. However, Kizaru just puts himself back together. It doesn't matter. Actual legit question. What do you think, what Luffy do you think surpassed old Whitebeard? Gear 5 on Rooftop. Gear 5 on Rooftop surpassed Whitebeard. Any version of Luffy after that is just a one-sided. It's a one-sided fight for Luffy. You weren't listening. He literally used the Viola scaling to scale Dressrosa to country level. He does not have future sight. No statement that even remotely implies Kizaru of all people has future sight. You can also talk about the advantages size gives, even if some opportunities, even if some opponents are stronger than you, like leverage, more body mass. Yes, all of those things I was going to talk about. I just needed to like actually make the argument. I thought I could make the argument here with you guys.
Them. He
Thank
can
you,
drop them in another
thank you,
dimension.
Scott.
He just won the fight.
If this argument relies on Boruto being able to physically
Yo, I sent this guy's videos too. Maybe you should collab with him and talk about his takes. I'm going to be so honest. I don't have TikTok. I don't ever really see myself like making a TikTok and then doing like interactions or stuff with it unless like Aura wants. Aura did mention like making a One Piece armpit tier list on for like a video for TikTok. I'm down to help him make that content. I don't care. I'll fuck around with Aura for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and just we'll make a tier list and shit. I don't mind him getting some potential bag from TikTok or YouTube, regardless of where he wants to post it. I really think everybody who's Admiral level and above has mastery over Haki. That's fair. Has mastery over all forms? Yeah, that's fair. This guy also argued that the Akatsuki, the TikToker, would beat the Warlord because they have a one linear ability. That's crazy.
Really keep pace with the admirals. I've got some bad news.
Also, if you're gonna try to argue that Kizaru is faster than Boruto, just stop. Boruto is massively faster than light.
All 3 admirals are faster than that.
Even if you don't agree with that scaling, he has instantaneous teleportation.
So you're once again faced with the dilemma of Boruto doing jack shit before getting perception blitz. I don't care if Boruto's teleportation is instantaneous once it's activated. All teleportation is supposed to be. He just gets perception blitzed before the activation.
There is no movement that you need to talk about one being faster than the other. Boruto is infinitely more mobile than everyone on this list.
Damn, it's that simple.
I don't see Katakuri's observation haki mogging Kizaru. I mean, the observation haki itself won't mog Kizaru because you can argue Kizaru is faster than him. But the difference between Katakuri and Kizaru is that of speed. It doesn't matter how good your future sight is if the other character is faster and Kizaru is faster. So yeah, Kizaru may not have any objective reason to have future sight. Kizaru may not have, objectively speaking, future sight, but he can still blitz Katakuri even through it.
So I guess Law blitzes Kaido then, right? Since teleportation is the ultimate speed advantage. Law and Van Auger can teleport, so they're just top 2 in One Piece. Are we forgetting your final villain was Kaguya, and teleporting is like the one thing she's known for? That didn't save her though, did it? Because her raw speed wasn't fast enough. That's pretty interesting.
He's also way more versatile. Boruto has damn near every type of chakra release. Being up close or at range doesn't matter. He has infinite answers to all of those things.
Boruto Uzumaki. Boruto Uzumaki. Bro just lied. Bro just actively lied.
I can't be the only.
You said, but Boruto does beat each admiral, though? I wonder how. I wonder how he actually wins. What the fuck are you guys talking about? You weren't scaling. He's listening against the viola. He literally said characters are continental. That doesn't mean in any way that Dressrosa is a continent. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Nobody's ready for him? Yeah.
One who finds it weird that you said Boruto has infinite answers to their Logia intangibility, and then couldn't name one.
Also, his dojutsu is crazy. His Akuma jutsu is crazy. If you're gonna try to sit here and be like, oh, future sight. Future sight is not an end-all be-all. Observation haki is not an end-all be-all. Even if it lets you see a few seconds into the future, this guy has fought people with omnipotence.
I mean, you're kind of underselling the power disparity here, aren't you? He's getting jumped by 3 characters with equal or greater AP than his own, all of which are faster than him, all of which have future sight, all of which know everything he's gonna do before he knows what he's gonna do, and none of which would be so much as hit by anything you've mentioned in this video. That's also a naming fallacy. No one in Boruto is literally omnipotent. It's just the name of the ability.
So yes, Boruto is beating all 3 of them because Boruto comes to the table with more versatility and more answers to the things put in front of him.
Let's find out. 1, 2,
I'm crying.
3.
How many videos does it take to name a single Boruto counter to Logias? The world may never know.
That's funny. That's funny. That is really funny. I got you with the AI thing.
Luffy
Like,
would
that's
additionally
funny.
be capable of fighting at roughly 5 to 10 times the speed of lightning, while also possessing physical strength that vastly surpasses the previous villains of the Gauntlet.
You can bet he's not going to bring up the 6 King Gun, which Luffy compares to the impact dial that Satsuri hit him with on Skypiea. The same impact dial that bypasses conventional durability and attacks the spine directly.
Before moving forward, I do want to quickly address some arguments commonly used to scale Lucci and pre-time skip Luffy far beyond what I've presented. With these arguments usually relying on claims such as Gecko
Garp versus Tsunade in an arm wrestle. Why are you even asking? Listen. Let me just put it like this. You can talk about Naruto. You can talk about the Raikage. You can talk about Might Guy with the 8 gates. You can talk about Tsunade and Sakura performing the fusion dance, having a super duper strength of 10,000 healings. And I promise you, under no facet of logic will I ever entertain a Naruto character having greater physical strength than a One Piece character. I'm just not entertaining it. There's just, if you ever ask me, hey Eon, which of these characters, one from Naruto and one from One Piece, which of them wins in, and then you insert a physical activity that requires raw physical strength, I am telling you right now, every single time, just assume I'm going to say the One Piece character. 100% of the time, there is no way I'm ever entertaining the idea that Tsunade ever stands a chance, even remotely lifting up half of the shit that you can argue for a One Piece character. I'm just letting you guys know. Beating Gamma? Let's I'll talk about that in a second because I do want to build an argument, but first I do want to talk about that in a second, and we will build up an argument. I will go through it tomorrow and I will finish up the script, but for now let's just watch some of these because I am really enjoying Aura's content. I love how like Boruto does have water style. He does have water style. You're right about that one, Smart. He does have water style, but what the guy was saying that was incorrect is that he has all 5 chakra natures, which is just, as of right now, objectively incorrect. To answer the question of the title of the stream, it's my tree. All right, Julio, we get it. What's it called again? Your steak is too juicy. Your crops are too bountiful. God, your juice is too juicy. Jesus Christ, we get it, bro. You are top 1 in the verse in terms of how large your tree is. Fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to crash out like that. Tsunade and Sakura doing a fusion dance will be a nerf for Tsunade? Type shit. W Glazeon, you're welcome. Which is physically stronger, Sakura or Onion? One of the kids that followed Usopp from Syrup Village. Heck, yeah, I guess so, sure. Funnily enough, I am currently eating a steak, yeah. What was it? My girlfriend constantly brings back up that one statement. Letty loves to constantly bring up that one statement that somebody said at one point. Some men die of thirst while others drown. She was like, yeah, you're definitely the one drowning here. I'm crying. Trees are only large because grass is not is cut, not because the tree's length itself. Ah, yes, I forgot. If the hedges in the bush are too short, then the tree will obviously... If they aren't cut, then the tree will obviously look much smaller by comparison. Gotcha.
Moria being island level for supposedly splitting Thriller Bark.
There's nothing supposed about it. You just showed the feat happening, and it's confirmed to be the entire island. I find it funny how a motherfucker like this will talk about Moria punching.
I truly love this channel. You are head and shoulders above everyone else. You are my favorite. Always keep doing what you're doing, bro. Thank you so much, Willie. I truly do appreciate that. Are you drowning because of the waterboarding? I did. Okay, so again, to clarify for everyone, I'm the one who wants to be waterboarded. It is not Letty. And I want to see what it actually feels like. I want to see if it's actually as bad as people say it is. I don't think it's as bad. I told her I was thinking about doing it for my next birthday because it's coming up soon. But I was thinking about doing it, but I realized that it would be kind of weird to invite a bunch of people over to my house just to stand in front of our one bathroom, just for them to just for everyone to stand like in a small hallway in front of the bathroom, just for them to like send her and try to see my girlfriend waterboard. I think that might be a little too much. So instead, I decided that whenever she and I decide to finally go on a little mini vacation, whether it's for the weekend or something, I'll let her do it to me then. I will let you guys know. He wants me to get arrested. It's not a murder charge because you can't die from waterboarding. And besides, someone there probably knows the Heimlich maneuver. We know like 3 people that might know the Heimlich maneuver. Anyway, not important. So, all I'm saying is, at some point I will be waterboarded, and at some point, oh great, we have one of you people. Hey, Rauk Tuna. Do you wanna have this discussion live on stream? I have a Discord server that's free to enter. You can join and we can have a nice, calm conversation on stream. I don't bring in anybody. I will hide chat. I just we can have a full conversation as to Madara versus whatever the fuck you're trying to argue. Because I stopped reading after I heard you realize that Madara. You shouldn't take risks like this at your age. You mean at almost 30? Yeah, I shouldn't take risks at this age. Boruto is fodder. I would not call Boruto fodder, but yeah, sure. Low-key, Uzuhiko bypasses Logia damage because Logia uses elements which are bound by the bound, and Uzuhiko is like the planet rotating because it uses kinetic energy of the planet, so it's a counter. Yeah, I agree. Totally a counter. That makes completely justifiable reason. Julio, thank you so much for the 1 gifted membership. Shake the world. You can join if you haven't joined already, you can check your membership perks by checking out my YouTube channel on your, whether it's on your phone or on your computer. Just go to YouTube check my account out, and you'll be able to get all your perks. It has to be one-on-one. Yeah, it'll be one-on-one. I never ever let anyone else into the voice call. I do not like other people joining the voice call. I will kick anybody else who joins. There will be nobody else but you and I in the voice call. It's right here. I can send you the invite. I'll send 5 invites for anybody who would like to join the server. Because I maybe if somebody clicks it first, trust me when I say nobody else will ever join. No grant, 5 uses. There we go. Okay. Copy. There we go. If you want to join, you can. I will be waiting inside. But yeah. But yeah, bro, I don't know. I told Letty all about it, and I'm just like, and look, I'm even right here. Only you and me. Right here. The first and only general chat. It's right there. You can join if you'd like. I promise I don't insult. I promise I don't attack people. I don't call anybody anything. I'm just Ralph Tuna. If he actually joins VC, yeah, finally someone will actually try to. Somebody. I still can't join VC. But what if it was quiet the whole time? I still can't join VC. No, I would rather you did not join VC. I want this to just be me and them because I don't want anybody thinking that I'm the type of one of those YouTubers that does that bullshit where like, oh hey, yeah, you're so fucking stupid, you're so blah, 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 blah. I don't do that shit, man. I don't like that, and I'd rather just not have anybody interject or add anything to the conversation. Rauk Tuna, the invite is somewhere there. You can just click on the Discord link, join, and then yeah, you're more than welcome to. Let's keep checking this out.
An island in half and talk about it like it's folklore while showing the feat happening, but because of one vague statement in the
Which which arc would damage One Piece the most if it was removed? I guess Sabaody Archipelago. Maybe Sabaody Archipelago, or it would have to be Long Ring Long, Sabaody Archipelago, or Dressrosa, because some of those are some of like the more major arcs as far as like the scaling of the series goes. Doesn't Viola having a 4,000 kilometer radius mean that Dressrosa? No, it's a 4,000 diameter. She sees the entirety of Dressrosa's through 4,000 diameter. Because if you consider where Viola was, she cannot see Greenbit. The size would upscale a lot, since the size still upscales even if you just use 4,000 kilometers. The United States is only a little bit over 4,000 kilometers in width. So yeah, are you joining or not, Rock Tuna? Wouldn't that make them 4D? I return, my powers are beyond what you can imagine. Probably not, but sure. Not gonna lie, if this debate ends up like the rest of the lives in chat stream debates have been going, I'm convinced you're paying people to clip farm. I'm really not, and I don't even clip farm. I haven't made a second channel or anything for like fucking clips, dude. I'm thinking about doing that shit. Could you come back home, Sukuna? I'm crying. Alright.
in exams and a literal filler episode, Kakashi is lightning speed.
Or Luffy already being faster than light before even unlocking Gear 2nd through feats involving Foxy's Noro beams and Kuma's pad cannons. Starting with Moria, the island level interpretation simply doesn't hold up. I say this because Thriller Bark is never actually shown being split in half, as its outer structure remains completely intact from what we see when Kuma uses Ura Shock.
I'm not going to keep harping on the same point just because you either can't or won't read the statements that contradict your claim. I don't know if you need glasses or something, but you can literally see both sides of the island are lopsided and folding in towards each other from Moria's punch. Just because the mouth gate remains intact, that has absolutely nothing to do with Thriller Bark's destruction. The wall doesn't wrap around Thriller Bark's outer limits. You can still see a shit ton of ocean right here.
Moreover, even if you argue that Moria had split the entire ship, the feat still wouldn't approach.
How about this? I start up a Clips channel. How about this? I start up a Clips channel after I put out Naruto vs. Luffy Part 1, and I just start going through streams. If anybody knows any cool clips that they can get me from any of the streams, I'll find the streams myself. I'll go check out the streams, and then I'll just post out some of the clips. Never forget the unlisted goon stream, Eon. We, the people, always remember. Anyone can see that one from, if they got a membership. This is why Eon scales higher than most power scalers in attack potency, because he doesn't insult. That's a universal feat, yeah. It's universal across all power scaling versus... All the Crash Art clips? Yeah, I'll post all the Crash Art clips. I'll probably just segment them all, and then I'll probably just put them all into, like, one big thing, and then I'll just segment them all. Even as a One Piece stan, saying Boruto can't beat any Admiral is pretty unfair. Can't beat any Admiral? Which Admiral does he beat, then? Which Admiral does he beat? I have all the sniffing clips? Alright, fuck you. Sure, send me those clips as well. The mouth gate is separated, by the way. It was the chains. Aura, hit me up next time. You'll let too much shit slide. Yeah.
Island level, considering Thriller Bark itself isn't even comparable in size to an actual island, but is instead closer to the size of a large landmark like Central Park.
You think some pixel calc you didn't show takes priority over the manga statements that it's an island, and your source is an AI overview answer based on Instagram, VSBW, and fucking TikTok?
Meaning anyone claiming that Moria is island level for the amount of damage he caused on Thriller Bark is either accepted.
Rauk Tuna, are you joining VC or not? I'm chilling here, dude. No one else is joined. We're chilling. We're fine. I think they just left. It's fine. I'll be here in VC if anything.
exaggerating or just simply doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Right.
As for the speed arguments, they're even less convincing. For those unaware, Foxy's Noro beams are frequently argued to move at light speed because they're both referred to as photons and light, as well as the fact that they satisfy several of Versus Battle Wiki's light speed criteria. Now, I don't even appeal to these criteria in the first place because they're neither official nor applied consistently.
So you don't appeal to VSBW's standards for what constitutes light, but you appeal to their pixel calcs, and an AI overview answer providing no quantification, no calculation, and no proof, but just swearing on Scout's honor that its arbitrary estimate comes from the openly biased VSBW mods.
But even if you do accept them, the argument that the Noro beams move at light speed still falls apart. For one, they're explicitly described as an undiscovered particle despite being labeled as photons, meaning we don't really know what they are scientifically.
Undiscovered by who? Answer me that. Because if you're gonna say Foxy's not discovered his own ability, you need your head checked. The only group Foxy could really be referring to is scientists.
listening to
Foxy's
Horace
ability hasn't been discovered by scientists.
He says a lot of the things that I wish I could say, but the whole tagline of my channel that I shouldn't, you know, get very mean with it, kind of prevents me from that. But I do like a lot of what he says.
Because he's not been captured or studied. So no shit scientists haven't discovered it.
For two, they're shown bending and curving through air, something real light simply doesn't do.
That's not Foxy's normal beam. That's the slow sword. A light construct being used as a melee
He's
weapon
nicer than I'm gonna
obviously
be.
isn't going to be inherently light
True.
speed. Just like Kizaru's Ama no Murakumo.
Here's my thing. I used to not be very nice. I used to not be a very nice person when I was growing up. So, I don't know. As I've reached, as I'm almost 3 decades old, I kind of reached the conclusion that I'd rather just like being nice to these people, you know? I would like to be nice. I think Boruto can beat pretty much all the admirals individually. That's fair. You can choose to believe that. I don't agree with it, though, and I don't know how he hurts them. I don't know in what way, shape, or form he has the capacity to hurt them, besides saying that he has some... Let me check real quick. Water style, Surging Sea. What is this? Anime only. Don't care. Needing chakra expels a large surge of water from their mouth. Cool. Breakthrough. That's wind style. I don't care about that. Wind style, water style. Water wall. He has water wall and Surging Sea. And that's it. So he has one attack that affects them. He has a singular attack that can affect... I mean, he has Uzuhiko, though. How does Uzuhiko hurt them? How does Uzuhiko make physical contact with them? Because, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't... I don't know what to tell you about that. My algorithm is advancing and I won't be stopped. Lightning strike. Eon can explain how Chinjao's attacks that was forced in a single point scales to continental. Because it says that they can now split the ice continent. It says they can split a continent, literally. That's why. It's not rocket science. I go by what the story tells me. Is it narratively consistent? Yes, because characters at this point are reaching something that admirals, on a scale that admirals can do casually. I mean, getting a verbatim statement. What is it, 778? Yeah, it was like 771. 771. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right here. I have now seen that your foot is powerful enough to split the continent of ice. I can attest, I remember my first impression of Eon being a stream of him out of his way to apologize to people in the comments for calling them idiots, morons, and not being able to scale, yeah. I didn't call anyone an idiot. I don't think I did call anybody an idiot or a moron. I don't think I did. But either way, I was apologizing for, you know, just inherently being a lot meaner than I should be. Do you think Boruto's tanking Sakazuki's punch through the chest? Absolutely not. Ha! Magma? A magma punch enhanced by Haki straight through the chest? Absolutely not. No reason for me to entertain that. Is the Atom Tree bigger than the God Tree? If so, then I think One Piece World might be a lot bigger than I thought. Yes, 100%. The world... Okay, I will talk about this in a little bit. But, yeah, give me 1 second.
Sword, it would just scale to the user in terms of combat speed. Also, One Piece Light can and has bent much further than that before. This is not a contradiction.
And third, and most importantly, they're portrayed as being significantly slower than attacks later confirmed to move at light speed, attacks that Gear 2 Luffy himself struggles to dodge.
You claim Luffy struggles to react in Gear 2, and then show him reacting in base. I don't understand how you're going to use a secondary source and then not even pay attention to that clip from the secondary source.
Moving on to Kuma's pad cannons, this argument is a little more complicated because unlike the Noro beams, these attacks are actually based around
Is a fundamental force. It takes massive of any state and forces it to spin, the attack would affect the Logia. Why would it affect the Logia? You still haven't answered me why. It occurs regardless of who hits who, as Boruto blocking caused it to wrap around code. Oh wait, what am I doing? You got a chapter for that? No, that's not Naruto. I need a Boruto. You got a chapter for that? You said... Was it one of the more recent ones, right? Nope. What, chapter 1? Rasengan Uzuhiko. Uzuhiko, yeah. Tries to come up from behind. Boruto tags him. Uh-huh. Is this what you're talking about? The fact, when do admirals just randomly just grab you and then just keep on holding on to you? When the fuck do admirals ever do that? What the fuck? So you're saying that if Boruto uses Uzuhiko, so let's just say Boruto starts up the fight immediately. What do you mean why? I literally just explained even light and magma are affected by kinetic energy. Fantastic. How does it hurt them? How does it hurt them? And they reform anyway, yeah. How does it hurt them, though? You haven't explained to me how this attack hurts magma, light, and ice. How does it hurt them? That's all I want to know. How does this attack hurt them? What is this coiling around my arm? What's the big deal? I'll say this one more time. It's your last warning. Quit moving around. What's going on? Simply, it's not genjutsu. Yeah. Rasengan Uzuhiko. Boom. Sends him flying. Okay. I'm surprised. Yeah, what the... Why is it all spinning? Yeah? Okay, and... Sure. What did you do to me? It's a biting counterattack from this planet that you were going to destroy... That you were trying to destroy. From this planet, a Rasengan that incorporates a planet's chakra, its rotation. That's what Uzuhiko is. The power that is rushing through your body right now will never dissipate, just like how a planet will never stop spinning. Cool. So how does this hurt them? How does this hurt them? I'm still wondering, how the fuck does this hurt them? Like... Cool.
A statement involving light speed. However, this statement is often misconstrued to mean the pad cannons themselves are moving at light speed, when in reality, Kuma is described...
I just saw your reaction to Thick Calves watching Law Solo's Naruto. You were getting humbled pretty bad. When did I get humbled by Sage of Thick Calves? You never humbled me. I love how people always assume that, like, oh, this guy that I watched said that this guy that I don't watch, or that I disagree with is wrong, so he got humbled. No, he didn't. Sage of Thick Calves is not humbling me in any way, shape, or form. What the fuck are you talking about, Malik? Would you like to have a conversation live? I've been waiting for some other dude that said that he would be willing to have a conversation with me live on stream with no one else around, no toxicity, no insults, nothing. Would you like to have a conversation live on stream? I'm willing to do it. Can you explain me how he humbled me? I would love to know how. It would do as much damage to the admirals as Apu's sound attack that did against Kizaru and Sabaody, which is to say, jack fuck yeah. Logia users can be stronger than their natural elements, yep. It makes them spin, cool. And then what? That's what I've been wondering. What the fuck is the point? Yeah, cool. It makes them spin. Also, grabbed him, kept holding on to him, and then he passed it on. It's not like Boruto's just blocking a punch of magma with his fist, and then just in that same instant, transferring it back. Yeah, he didn't prove anything. Sage of Thick Calves basically just said no to all my points, didn't actually prove a reason why I'm wrong, and then had some other guy, who is not him, show up and basically give him all of One Piece's scaling, which he also just said no to. Didn't even disprove anything I said, just said no to. I would humble you too. Humble me then. Please do so. Humble me. Oh god, please humble me. You want me to give you a Discord link? I'm dead ass. I'll give you a Discord link. You can hop on real quick. We'll have a chat. I'm not the toxic type. There's human sense who will experience vertigo and pain. Okay, why would they experience pain? What makes you think that they'll experience pain? Walking elements. Why would they experience pain? Why they are incapacitated? Boruto can simply work through his options until he sees water style? Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, you can totally choose to believe that, One Smart. You can 100% choose to believe that, even though you can't prove to me that it would hurt them. But yeah, sure, you can believe that. You're fine. Idiot thought Kirin was lightning speed, so you called me an idiot. Well, here's the link, Malik. Join up. The Discord link's right there. If you want, I'm here sitting in chat waiting for you to, just let me know whatever argument you want. You said that Kirin is lightning speed? It is. It is lightning speed. Why isn't it lightning speed? Yeah. Kirin is lightning speed. Why wouldn't Kirin be lightning speed? It is just a lightning bolt. It is nothing special. It is nothing more than a lightning bolt that he guides. That's it. That's what Sasuke's fire was for. What do you mean? Sasuke's real target was never Itachi. I still don't get it. He shot fire-style jutsu into the sky to rapidly raise the ambient air temperature and create an ascending air current to form a cumulus nimbus, a thundercloud. And what does that have to do with he doesn't have to use his own chakra, but just take advantage of the enormous ambient atmospheric energy to create a lightning-style jutsu? Which one? Doesn't matter. Whichever one it is, it'll be on a totally different scale than what anyone can create using change in chakra nature alone. And then what does he say right here? I see, so Sasuke deliberately lured Itachi outside so he could use the heat generated by Amaterasu. This jutsu guides the lightning striking down from the heavens. In short, I merely directed towards you. No longer feel pain? They can. You just haven't proven to me how this attack would hurt them or affect them. Because MS abilities have been shown to blitz tiers above the user. If MS is lightning speed, Itachi in base is losing to Dozu? How is Itachi in base losing to Dozu then? I would 100% disagree with that. Data book states Kirin is light speed. Yes, and the data book statement completely contradicts the source material, which I could give less than 2 shits of. Like, why would I care about what some data book statement says when, literally, right here, in short, I merely direct its power towards you, just as I thought, which is why it cannot be evaded. Why not? The speed of lightning is 1/1000th of a second. It's faster than sound. This jutsu is Kirin. Sasuke tamed lightning. And just to back up my point, he says right here, the Sharingan can assess chakra. Stop bluffing. I can see that you're out of chakra. So Sasuke doesn't even have chakra. Zetsu, the person you're referencing for the speed of the technique, states this before the technique is even activated, and then states, I've never seen this change in chakra nature before. When does he say that? Did Itachi die? When does he say that? When does he say, I've never seen this change in chakra nature before? When does he die? When does he say that? Here's chapter, let's see. Sasuke launches the jutsu. 8, 9, 10. Where's chapter? Where's page 10? Let me, what chapter is this? 339. Give me 1 segundo, please. The Discord link's right there. We could just have a conversation live on chat. We can have a conversation live. It's a lot easier for you, I'm telling you. The speed of Kirin is not on the page. It's lightning. He's merely guiding it. So it's lightning. It's lightning speed. There it is. You can't even read, bro? I can. I just told you. It is lightning speed. He was merely guiding it. What else do you want me to tell you? Are you telling me that I'm not reading? Because I literally read what the page said. In short, merely guiding. Do you know what the word merely means? Ah, right here. Gah, such power. That's what I was missing. My apologies. I was missing that one panel. Yeah. Doesn't really change anything. Itachi pain arc. Right there. Yes. So where is it? Where is the statement then? How dare you? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Sasuke's really upsetty spaghetti. Wait, I already did have that. Speed of light stated by Zetsu? Wait, where's it stated the attack is speed of light? Say whatever the fuck makes things sound hype. I agree. I don't have to agree with the data book statement if it directly contradicts what the story's telling me. It is merely lightning. So I'm a complete buffoon because... Okay, you're saying it's a change in chakra nature, but he also says, doesn't matter. It'll be a totally different scale than anyone can create using change in chakra nature alone. Read the page right there. Read this portion right here. Read right here. So you saying, so Malik, just to clear this up, you saying changing chakra nature amps the jutsu? Yeah, just saying that doesn't mean anything to me, because this right here contradicts what you just said. Changing chakra nature amps the jutsu, yes or no? Yeah, it can amp its attack potency, not its destructive capacity. Sorry, not its speed. It can amp the jutsu's power, doesn't mean it amps its speed. How do you amp lightning without chakra? Yeah, how's he amping the lightning? How is he amping the lightning? This jutsu guides the lightning striking down from the heavens. In short, I merely direct its power. He's not doing anything. He's just guiding it down. He says merely. You want to look at the definition of merely? Let's see. Merely definition, since I'm assuming that, you don't know what merely means. Is an adverb that means only or just. In short, I just direct its power towards you. Used to show that something is small, simple, or unimportant, and there is nothing more to it. In short, all I'm doing is just guiding the lightning down towards you. A lightning rod. Didn't amp the jutsu, that was literally past the skill set at the time. Lightning rods don't amp the bolt at all. Yep. That's not really a contradiction, it is a contradiction. He's just guiding it down. Right here. Guides the lightning strike down from the heavens. In short, I merely direct its power towards you. Yes, because it's a change in chakra nature applied to the no. The change in chakra nature isn't applying anything to the what were you talking about? It's change in chakra nature applied to the Nimbus Cloud Thunderbolts instead of lightning made from chakra. He shot fire style into the sky, ellipses, to rapidly raise the ambient temperature and create an ascending current. So to form cumulus nimbus, the thundercloud. You see that? You are aware that there is an advantage when water style users are literally in water, right? Yep. Yes, they say it right here. Whichever one it'll be will be on a totally different scale than what anyone can create using change in chakra nature alone. You haven't countered this yet. So again, it's not just a change in chakra nature. This is a greater scale than anything that's been performed before. Anything anyone can do. I thought it was like the Warwick. It is the Warwick. That's when Naruto reaches light speed. Like, everything you're saying, Malik, doesn't contradict what I'm saying right here. Eon, can you review Versus Battle Wiki's page for One Piece and Boruto characters? I could give two shits about what Versus Battle Wiki says. Versus Battle Wiki is the equivalent of just an opinion with a bunch of math behind it, and the math is irrelevant to me. If you need me to explain to you why I don't ever use calcs, it's because whatever value you get from a calc, no matter what your logic is, if you're getting a value from a calc, you're basically getting made up information. It is not canon. Versus Battle Wiki and Naruto/Boruto characters in Versus Battle Wiki do not have canon statements or feats. They just go off of some random calculation and that's it. I don't go by calcs. I don't have a reason to. So yeah. Can you give me an actual inverse statement that says the jutsu is light speed? I don't give a shit about some random data book statement that completely contradicts what it's saying. What change in chakra nature? That's natural lightning, cumulus nimbus clouds. He didn't directly change it. Sasuke just used basic weather manipulation logic. Correct. He's using what Nami does. Sasuke is essentially doing something that Nami has been doing since post-time skip. There's a bit of a misconception outside and sometimes in a fandom that if water touching a devil fruit usually just turns off the devil fruit, which isn't. We've seen Luffy stretch underwater. Correct. There's no way has ever gotten that big. Yeah. So, you willing to have a discussion with me live? Or, either of you guys... Listen, any of you guys are willing to do it, I'll post it again. I'll post another Discord link. I'm right here. I don't insult. I don't yell. I'm good. Yes, because changing chakra nature alone is just forming chakra and then changing its nature to lightning. No way you're this dense. Where on the page does it say that he changed the lightning bolts or change in chakra nature, all that bullshit? When the fuck... Wait, the data book is canon, though. You can't dismiss it. I can't dismiss it when it directly contradicts the source material. I do understand this. The data books mean a toilet paper covered in shit's worth to me. Because if they contradict what is directly stated in the page of the source material, they are nothing more than a hyperbolic statement. There you go. Won't, but I... Bro, y'all just read the manga, wikis, and databooks are biased. It's essentially y'all writing them. Yeah. Not even joking. Versus Battle Wiki got Boa at moon level striking strength right now. That's cool. I don't agree with what they say, but sure. How am I being dense? Yo, here's the Discord link, man. I'm telling you. You ended the Sage video early and was afraid to join us live. I tried to. I tried to talk to him. I did try to talk to him. What do you want from me? And now your stance is that the data books aren't acceptable? No, certain data book statements are. Certain data book statements aren't. When Sage said that the data book statements were supposed to be all objectively correct, he was bringing up random character statements. Like random information about characters that I never once disputed were wrong. I simply disputed that there are certain data book statements that directly contradict what is essentially happening in the context of the manga. For example, Amaterasu flames are not as hot as the sun. They don't even burn. How can it be a dragon if he didn't change? Oh my god. I love the dragon argument. I love the dragon argument because it only goes to show how little people think. It only goes to show how little people tend to use their own logic. Yeah, right here. Hirudora! Oh look! 7th gate guy using Hirudora. Don't move. Hirudora is a taijutsu, not a ninjutsu that uses chakra. It's just a plain old super punch. How did Guy make a giant tiger? How did Guy make a giant tiger if it's just supposed to be a simple super punch? Simple. This is insane. Y'all follow this person, by the way. Yeah, this is insane. You don't read the story. You just look at whatever stupid little argument you can think of that only follows for your logic, but as soon as I pull up a single panel that absolutely disproves you, you can't actually, make an actual decent argument. You're a casual scaler, dude. It's okay. You're a casual. It's okay. If you want to have a conversation, I'm telling you, man. If you prove to me you're not a casual scaler, come on. I'm calling. Hey, I'm asking you, man. Come on. Discord link's right there. You guys have every capacity to join them. You can debate me right now if you like. I've been asking a bunch of Naruto people. The crux of your claims that the data books is the Tamari mistranslation. Nope, I never brought up the Tamari mistranslation, but I can always bring that one up. We follow him for the sniffing. They acknowledge that it looks like a tiger in the story. Yes, they acknowledge that it looks like a tiger in the story. Correct. I sent you a scan. Tag me in it? Where'd you tag me in it? Did I get tagged in something? Where'd you tag me in it? How you doing, Soldado? Hirudora is a taijutsu. Oh my god, yes, it's a taijutsu. Merely a taijutsu. Yes, and what does he state on the page? It's just a plain old super punch. A focused pressurized air, a focused blast of pressurized air aimed at your opponent. After initial compression, it quickly spreads outward. And this aura surrounding me is in chakra. Those who open the 7th gate of shock perspire blue sweat. The aura just comes off from my exertion. Yeah. Scroll up in Gen Chat. Scroll up in Gen Chat. What are we doing? Oh, keep ulti there. I'm almost done. I'm crying. When did I get tagged? Just reply to it. Just an air punch that looks cool. Yeah, I agree. It's just an air punch that looks cool. Come on, dude. You can do better than this. I believe you can. Come on, Malik. You can do better than this. I believe that you can actually make a decent argument. I'm right here. I'm 28 minutes in here alone. He's saying that if the data books are info invalid, that Yep. I believe that the data books are completely invalid if they say something that completely contradicts what is blatantly shown. Oh, you passed it already, dog. It's the Blue Nose statement? Alright. To think that he could even force me to use my door universe. He's not just able to emulate our shave technique, he's doing it effortlessly. The 6 powers boasts unrivaled speed. It's impossible for me to lose. I'll drag part of him with me into this dimension. I'll render him absolutely defenseless. This ends now. He vanished. Yeah. Any funny how this guy refuses to debate you directly? Yeah. Because he knows that as soon as he brings up anything, he'll give me a second, I'll instantly counter it, and then he'll bring something else up, and I'll do it again, and he'll bring something else up, and I'll do it again. Because the only way that these guys have a chance at actually trying to debate me is that they bring up some bullshit and then leave when they don't want to talk about it anymore. He's trying to bring up the whole, aura thing. To high levels, to the universal thing. Yeah, I'm not using that right now. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not using that right now. They are meant to support the data books shouldn't contradict the source material. They're meant to support the source material, yes. And yet, even though one states that Sasuke is merely taming lightning and bringing it out, this is an entirely fake translation I made. Is it? That's funny. That's funny. Into my door universe. I'm crying. That's funny as fuck. Well, it seems Malika's gone, yeah. Another two guys just show up in here, talk their shit, and then leave when I pull them wrong. Oh man, it's just a punch. Oh no. Oh no! I proved the Naruto wankers wrong. Oh, go back to Sage and wank your favorite Naruto school. Yeah, you guys can go do that. Oh man, I might unironically just start titling my videos the undebunkable powers, the YouTube's greatest, most undebunkable power scaler once again destroys Naruto fans in their own logic. I should probably just do that. I should probably just start titling all of my streams that way until someone finally has the balls to debate me. It is a door universe though. All right. Naruto throwing a kunai at Sasori's tail and realizing shit ain't sweet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the data books, every single inconsistent statement used as an upscale is a clickbait part of an article. The descriptive text of the data book is consistent. I love Naruto debaters who don't actually read their series. Yeah, I agree. I agree, viewers of The Void. I agree, 100%. They're my favorite. Honestly, they're my favorite. So why does it look like a dragon? Explain that, bro! Yeah, why does Iridora look like a giant fucking tiger if it's just a pressurized super punch? Because you can shape attacks, I guess. That's why. You can shape attacks. Kishimoto wanted to flex his fucking skills, dude. I don't know. You Naruto fans are better off debating whether or not the verse is stronger than JJK verse, honestly. Yeah, I'm like the last person any of these guys should ever fucking debate. I really am. I really am the last person any of them should debate. I will absolutely destroy any of their fucking arguments. Oh, but what if I think the Naruto's universal? You can 100% believe that. Nope. I'm not entertaining the Naruto's universal meta. Not entertaining it. You can believe it. The conversation can say it's just a punch. That doesn't mean it's the same stats as the average human punch, which is your position on Kirin. I never said that. I didn't say that. That was not my point. One is a punch. The other is a jutsu. Simple as that. You're comparing taijutsu to a ninjutsu, one smart. That's not very decent logic. Not very good logic. Always trying to rewrite somebody's logic. You're asking as if both of these jutsus are exactly the same thing. Yeah, a taijutsu versus a ninjutsu. Yeah, they're both exactly the same thing. An argument saying that I'm comparing both to be... I'm just saying, the only thing that I'm comparing between Hirudora and Kirin is that both are giant creatures created from just this. Hirudora is just a super punch. Notice how I haven't stopped saying super punch. A plain old super punch, as Guy described it. Just a punch. Pressurized air, localized pressurized air, shot that expands outwardly. Just a punch. Kirin is just lightning. Very powerful lightning. It could be all the lightning from the entirety of the cloud, since it all dissipates. That could be true. As if it isn't just more proof that Kirin looking like a dragon doesn't matter. Yeah, my only point with this is that Kirin appearance does not matter. Simple. Doesn't matter. I could give two shits. Plain old super punch. They can change the appearance of their attacks. That's all it is. Guys, Tiger Fist is the equivalent of Demon Slayer's breathing technique style animation. Yeah, but guess what? They can see it, and so, therefore, it is whatever it is. Funny how they're now calling the statements hyperboles, but forget they do the same. Yeah, 100%. Bro left. Bro said I can shit on you too. Bro called me a moron, an idiot, and then just walked away. Just went packing. That is so funny to me. Do you think red-haired pirates solo the Narutoverse because the author said that ninjas would be weak to guns? Probably neg the whole verse. The reason I say that is that everyone I read is okay, and every single argument in the same group as turn the world to ash and bold text on the side, attention grabbing text. Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. I know what your point is, Marcos. I agree with you. They're just focusing on the attention grabbing part of the text. They don't focus on what it's actually being stated. Yeah. Did he actually call me a baboon? Who wins, Ten Tails Madara or Current Zoro? Current Zoro speed blitzes and cuts him in half, cuts him to shreds. It's not even close. Zoro keeps cutting up Madara until he can't regenerate anymore. He's gonna run out of chakra. Zoro will just keep fighting, keep swinging, keep slashing, keep doing things until Madara runs out. Oh, Limbo Clone tries to punch Zoro in the face. Oh, Zoro just tanks that shit. Imagine Zoro. Imagine the appearance on Madara's face when Zoro literally slams him with a fucking sword faster than he can react, and then he throws a limbo clone at Zoro to punch him in the stomach or whatever, get him away, and Zoro just sits there tanking it. Just doesn't even budge. Sasuke guided the path of lightning. He could just as easily alter its shape to look like a dragon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The reason why Sasuke spent so long even working towards that jutsu is just to make it look like a dragon. Bro, come on now. Like, it's really not that hard, bro. It's really not that hard to conceptualize. Sasuke simply covered his arm in lightning release, jumped up into the highest point he could, shot his arm upward, and then the dragon came out. The dragon literally started to come out after he connected it with his own chakra. There it is. Oh, look at that. Now it's a giant chakra dragon. That, when it comes out as an attack, doesn't even actually come out as a dragon. Oh yeah, casual L Thor negs Kirin in every timeline, yeah. Imagine Sasuke finally having an attack on the same plane as fucking... Actually, I wouldn't call it on the same plane, but imagine Sasuke having an attack that is basically just one of... An attack that, mind you, needs prep time. That's nothing more than one of Enel's most casual moves. I could unironically argue. I could genuinely and unironically argue that anyone in, you know what? I'm gonna just say it right now. No. I'm gonna just say it right now. This is about to piss off a lot of people. Yo, let me just say it because I really don't have a reason to like stop holding my tongue anymore. I can stop holding my tongue. I can say it. I can 100% say it. I can 100% just make this claim right now. You guys see this fucker right here? You guys want to see this guy? Let me show you guys something really fucking funny. This guy right here, does anybody know the chapter? This guy right here basically got everybody out of one of the islands that Enel fucking eradicated with one of his island wiping attacks. "11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. Enel reaches the top. When is Enel, okay, so we have to go to 295. Wait. Oh, we already had it. Okay, so we did already have it, so we don't need this anymore. Delete this. 296. Kingdom Come. Yeah. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, he survived. No, he didn't just survive an L Thor. This guy survived this island wiping blast. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Why don't I have these? Gonna ring the bell. How can this be? We just lost our land. We lost our only escape route. Okay, 295. So we need to go to chapter 295 real quick. Let me show you guys something really fucking crazy. One Piece color. Open. Oh, well, this is fine. Control find 295. Let's go here. So this is it. Oh. When does the guy get everybody out of the island? He has to get everybody out of that island. Oh yeah, there's the Kingdom Come. There's the Kingdom Come. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Okay. Where is it? Somewhere around here. Ah, there we go. The lightning strikes are taking down people. There's a hole in the sea. People are going to start falling. I don't accept this logic. What could ever happen to be persuaded? Okay. Hurry, get to the sea. Angel Island won't last much longer. Hurry to the sea. Captain, we got a lot of injured people here. Just get them on ships. You'll have to treat them later. This is no place is safe to run. He hit him with it. Yada, yada, yada. What are people thinking? Not me. Blue sock. Blah, 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 blah. Anything? I come, I search down. Yeah. Tries to bring down the stock. Okay. Fwah, he's gone. I've made it all the way back. What are you doing? Come back here. Never mind that. Ships. Okay, never mind that. We've got to go. We've got to, wait, what's that? The thundercloud's changing shape. The sea. Let's hurry up. The sky's black. There's a big black ball. There's a big ball floating in the sky. That thing's bad. Inside the thing are swarming fierce air currents. The sheet of lightning discharges. It's right over Angel Island. The thunderclouds formed a sphere. It's Nightmare. I'm telling you guys, this is the end. What is he planning? Ha ha ha. Heaven is mine. Now you will know. Within the Arc Maxim, my power, I can perform the greatest miracles the world has ever seen. It's falling onto Angel Island. The sky is falling. Kingdom come. Boom. He wipes everything out. It can't be. Is that just one instant? Our island just did the White Berets get away in time? They saved us. The island we were born is gone without a trace. The Sea of Clouds was decimated. Yeah. I can unironically argue that this guy not only got caught up in the blast, but he survived it as well. He survived a blast from an attack that basically wiped out the White Sea. A white C. And how much you bet these guys would slander you for arguing L's lightning is light speed, or arguing that lightning speed to dodge because of Oda's statement? Your last comment, I did. Yeah, I just read it. And L has lightning, dragon, a bird, Juraneg. Ironic, I'm at this arc in my reread. Best arc in One Piece. I don't consider it one of the best arcs, but I like it. That watched, everyone that watched like Nixo's vid on an L, Power's smirking right now. Yeah. What was that huge explosion and the lightning still falling like raindrops? I don't think we're gonna live to see another day. Yeah. Yup. These tremors, but I have to wait. How can this be? Completely erased? How can this be? This is too villainous an L. How could you? I'm sure they make it back to the Blue Sea. Yeah. El Dorado. Yeah. People need to understand that One Piece fodder characters are still durable as fudge. Just look at Usopp for an example. Yep. Usopp is also durable AF. Usopp is plenty durable. Man. That shit is crazy. Man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe stop it. Maybe not holding my tongue anymore is completely reasonable, especially if I have guys literally just coming up in here, insulting me, and then thinking they could just leave away. That's funny. But don't worry. It's all gonna be good. Yeah. Yeah. So, back to reading some aura stuff.
The speed at which he repels air to create the attack, not necessarily the speed of the resulting shockwave.
The pad cannon is a bubble of air that only releases its energy when it pops. That release of energy when it pops is compared to a bomb. The paw-shaped bubble also isn't called a shockwave, it's just called air. Shockwave occurs when it crashes into something. This would be like Kizaru stating that he fires light beams that explode on contact, and you saying it produces an explosion, so the beam's only as fast as the explosion it creates. This is all types of terrible.
This distinction is important because, like with the Noro beams, the way the attack is portrayed does not support it moving at the speed of light. This distinction becomes even clearer when comparing them to actual light speed attacks shown in the same fight. As while Zoro was able to weave through Kuma's pad cannons with little difficulty, he struggled to avoid an actual light beam despite having the chance to move out of the way before
And I know that Aura's gonna cover it. I'll just let Aura cover
it was even fired.
If he did move out of the way before it was fired, that would be aim dodging, which I know is a term that gets you hard. Zoro struggles to and still manages to evade both. I don't see what your point is here. This version of Zoro is also beyond exhausted. I don't know why you keep cutting context out.
Meaning Lucci would additionally be capable of fighting out.
Man.
Now, as for the earliest version of Naruto capable of beating Lucci, I'd say Sage Mode Naruto is an easy pick. Starting off with strength, Naruto in Sage Mode is stated to have surpassed his master Jiraiya, who is stated in the third Naruto data book to be capable of carving away mountains with his massive Rasengan, and could potentially be scaled as high as country level if you take statements about Orochimaru's power at face value.
The Naruto manga can and does describe destroying a country as overthrowing those in charge of it. For fuck's sake, Danzo's destruction of Konoha is defined as him overthrowing and replacing Tsunade. Let's also take at face value the statement that Jiraiya can carve away a mountain. Not mountains, a mountain. Yeah, to carve something is to chip away at it, implying that this is an overtime feat. But even if I just granted that, mountain level Jiraiya would not put Sage Mode Naruto above Luffy.
Not that Naruto even necessarily needs to be scaled that high, considering his Rasen Shuriken can straight up just negate an opponent's conventional durability by attacking their cells with microscopic wind blade.
That doesn't make Rasen Shuriken Duraneg, that makes it a fucking cutting attack. And since it's a chakra technique, it's just gonna scale to Naruto in terms of attack potency. And since he lacks the AP to overcome Luffy's durability, it's not even gonna pierce his skin.
And then in terms of how Sage Mode Naruto performs in terms of speed, he was shown keeping up with...
I love how he never brought up the fact that it's not a durability negation attack. Yeah. Oh, what's good, Tyrone? It's not even a durability negation attack because the literal next thing that he shows is Naruto fighting the third Raikage, which took one of these attacks, and oh, look at that.
His durability wasn't negated.
Yeah, his durability wasn't negated.
Reacting to and countering the third Raikage at point-blank range, with the third Raikage possessing the exact same lightning chakra mode that is stated to allow his son, the fourth Raikage, to fight at light speed.
That statement does not say light speed, it says almost light speed. You'd also have to prove the third and fourth Raikage are comparable in their bases. Otherwise, scaling A to a speed you can't quantify does absolutely nothing for the third Raikage. This is like saying End of Namek Goku can go Super Saiyan just like Trunks versus Mecha Frieza. Therefore, they're equal in stats, and Super Saiyan 1 Goku from Namek would one-shot Mecha Frieza.
The idea that the...
And there's also the fact that he's completely ignoring that the third Raikage's lightning armor is prized for its defensive purposes and not its speed like A's lightning armor is designed. Like, yes, they both use a technique, but you can have different variations of the technique. We've seen it with Sasuke and Kakashi where both essentially use Chidori, but Kakashi uses this thing called Lightning Blade, and Sasuke can manipulate his Chidori to literally either shoot out a beam Or shoot it out like little fucking senbone blades, or whatever. It's different applications of a different technique.
energy steroids from
Or,
the
sorry,
Bitcoin
a
Island
same
Guard,
technique.
which are the primary source of Hoey's power, apparently amped him from just 10 times above the average human, all the way to planet level with speeds billions of times faster than light.
Nice screenshot you stole from Eon's video and didn't.
Ah, he said the thing! He said the... Yo, Aura. First of all, big hug and kiss for even remotely letting them know that it was my shit, bro. Thank you!
Tag him in.
Despite there being zero in-universe comments about these statistics, let alone any feats that actually back the scaling up. Which, yes, are...
Just the same... Yo, this is the shit that gets me tight. It's like, oh, so there aren't any statements or feeds to actually back any of this shit up, but oh wait, let me use some stupid-ass statements that don't even remotely make up in the actual context of the series, so that then I can say, oh man, yeah, Naruto was like 50 billion times the speed of light, and in the first arc because he dodged Haku. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
extremely important when it comes to scaling, especially in this case.
Where was this attitude for Naruto? The narrative doesn't support him being light speed and fucking sage mode. Do statements only become insufficient when it's about One Piece?
Horty Jones is extremely inconsistent, and the only time you love guys, well, I'm willing... First of all, you can hug and kiss a man and not sit there and say that that's gay, especially if I'm not... first of all, the kiss would be like on the cheek, first of all, and second of all, the hug would just be like one of those like big, like, lift up the person, and then like let them down. Like, that's really it. Don't. You don't have to... you can kiss a guy and it not be gay as long as you're not touching lips. It's like kissing the homies goodnight. This guy, not Aura's entire strategy is, I'm gonna just lie, knowingly misinterpret statements and feats to wank the series I like and downplay the one I don't. Yeah, it's basic Naruto fan logic. It is what it is. I want to say deeply unkind things. I do. Do you scale Horty Jones' argument inconsistent for speed scaling? Do you think the Horty Jones argument is inconsistent? Oh, 100%. I think it's inconsistent as fuck, but hey, it's the genuine conclusion you can come down to based on information given by the anime. If you assume that each one of those pills in his hand, each one of those masses of pills in his hands, well, you know how society is with these things, 100%. If you count the number of pills that show up in the anime specifically, you can 100% get the argument. I'll just argue that it isn't inconsistency. No, I can argue that it's not inconsistent as far as the anime goes because the anime adaptation does have different scaling than the manga adaptation. 100%. One of the points that I do bring up in my video, let me actually bring it up for you guys. Let me actually just give you guys like a quick, I'll give you guys a bit of sauce. I'll give you guys a bit of sauce right now. Let me see if I can find the direct portion.
Okay, but what about hand-to-hand combat, Eon? You seem to forget that Naruto is a trained child soldier.
No, not this one.
Is he really? Because there's a whole bunch of discourse around that, and I'm too lazy to add.
Okay, now let me show you guys something. Let me put you guys onto some sauce.
What about him catching Haku out of the ice mirrors?
No, not that one.
Hold on, Eon. You said going by the manga, Luffy would be Mach 15, but the anime adaptation shows that Luffy punched the spear an extra 2 times, thus making his speed Mach 5, and you said that the anime adaptation for Sasuke's paper bomb feat implies that if anything, he took a portion of the blast, but the manga doesn't show that. So why not also go with the manga adaptation for Sasuke's explosion dodging feat, huh?
I thought you weren't paying attention in the previous line of scaling, Sandbag.
Yeah, I kinda went back and rewatched a couple of portions while you were yapping. You yap a lot.
That may be so, but as far as your question goes, I would personally argue that both scenes portray completely different scenarios that only match up if you look at it from the most surface-level perspective possible. The scene with Sasuke essentially shows 3 manga panels. Sasuke seeing the explosive tag, the tag explodes, and the next panel shows him landing on the ground saying, "Ow." This offers an extremely open-ended interpretation because one could argue that Sasuke was caught in the explosion since you can still see some of the aftermath of the debris landing alongside him with a dust cloud. You can also argue that he evaded the explosion and he was only saying "ow" because his ears were ringing. You can also argue that the explosion wasn't powerful enough to kill him and it simply blew him back but he landed on his feet. Or you can argue that Sasuke narrowly avoided it, but was simply caught in the end of the blast. There are multiple interpretations that one could use for this feat, and I'm sure there could be many more depending on how you choose to rationalize it. On the other hand, Luffy only punches the spear tip in one single panel, and I'm going under the assumption that he hit it with both hands so as to count it for 2 punches. There is no instance within any of these panels where one could argue that Luffy punched it an extra 2 times, unless you somehow believe that Luffy punches so fast that even the manga panels can't catch it. The difference here is that with Sasuke, all the anime adaptation does is show what happened in between the explosion panel and Sasuke landing. Whereas in Luffy's case, the animators added multiple extra scenes of the fight where Luffy not only lands 2 extra punches, but he also tanks multiple extra explosions, completely contradicting the manga. One scene clears up how Sasuke dealt with the blast, while the other shows Luffy having an extended brawl with Don Krieg, so it's not just a single added scene, it's an entire extra portion of the fight and a large amount of damage being dealt to Luffy by comparison. So with that being said, let's just say for a second that I agree we should instead use the anime adaptation. That means that Luffy was still capable of landing a punch explosion.
It's kind of my point. The chipmunk voice is for Sandbag. Well, just came back. The Rasengan itself destabilizes the opponent. Reforming can't happen as they'd like. Why not? Why wouldn't it be able to happen? Did he do it against anyone who is the literal element who can reform themselves? Because otherwise, that's just interpretation, shake the world. And also, that's under, again, the assumption that Boruto just lands the Uzuhiko without ever getting speed blitzed, which is always going to be my argument. No Naruto character ever deals with the speed blitz. Exactly, I kiss a lot of men and only half of it is gay. It's Sandbag. If you guys have seen some of my other videos, like what it means to fight Naruto or what it means to fight Luffy, it's Sandbag. The Doflamingo are planetary, if not higher. I just realized people saying Luffy using Observation Haki to dodge Kuma's light beams is a double-edged sword for their argument, because it completely proves enemies move faster than Kuma's light beams. Not just that, it would also prove then that like Naruto's evasion of the Naruto evading the Light Fang from Madara, evading the Light Fang would also then be a precognitive ability. How do you get the colored manga? Just go to weebcentral.com. It's right there. weebcentral.com. You can see it.
As even though it's flat out stated by the new Fisherman Pirates that the pills double your strength, people seem to conveniently ignore that they're also stated to be stolen drugs whose true effects are unclear, with them either resulting in you gaining the strength of 1,000 men, or simply causing premature aging.
Either one can happen. That's why it's uncertain. And uncertainty doesn't entail that you have no idea how something functions. It just means that you can't assert for a fact that this is exactly how it's going to happen.
Especially when the power to destroy the world is already implied to be what makes Whitebeard the world's strongest man, yet somehow Hody supposedly reaches that same level with a handful of pills.
I don't know why he brings this up. You don't believe in planetary Whitebeard. You argue against it. Granted, you argue it very poorly, but you still do it. Sengoku also doesn't state that Whitebeard's ability to destroy the world is a unique property. Sengoku tells the Marines that the numbers advantage doesn't guarantee that they're going to win. Because he has the power to destroy the world, he could wipe them out at any time.
Now, before I'm accused of downplaying, I'm aware that many people attempt to scale Gear 3 Luffy and by extension Doflamingo much higher by comparing them to Danshin Jazz, who was stated and shown to have split an eye.
That's my point, guys. This is my point. Listen, if anyone ever hits you with this bullshit, and it is bullshit, if anyone ever uses the bullshit argument, because, and again, call it for what it is, call it a bullshit argument. If anyone ever tells you, oh, but Luffy isn't light speed, look at that, he's using precognition in this specific scene to dodge the attacks, okay, cool. Well, for one, he's saying too slow, and two, if you want to say that that's precognition, then you know what else has precognition? Let's just pull that up real quick. Here's Naruto and Sasuke right here. This is a precognition attack too. Yeah, here's a precognition moment, and that's a precognition moment. That's one precognition moment. Let me give you guys a couple more. I'm gonna give you guys a few more precognition moments, because everyone always wants to bring up how Naruto is capable of keeping up with the third Raikage or whatever in Sage mode, right? Like everyone always wants to bring it up, but they never add to the fact that this Sage Mode frog pair has a wider danger sensing range and it's faster. I just need to get out of the way really fast. I wouldn't call someone a fucking lying bastard, but you have free will and I can't control what you do outside. So if you want to call somebody a fucking lying bastard in any social media site, go ahead, be my guest. Flying Raijin, you realize this Flying Raijin is worse than Minato's, right? And he is fast enough to fight the admirals as well. Teehee, the reason they cannot reform is because matter is scattered as well as their mental perception of everything forever. Where did it say that matter is scattered? Where is it stated that Rasengan Uzuhiko disperses matter and scatters it? Where that's not stated anywhere, dude. Come on now. Don't be disingenuous. Also, Flying Raijin, can we bring up, you know, Boruto versus Minato Flying Raijin graph? Boruto versus Minato Flying Raijin. Flying Raijin. Let's see. There's an actual thing on this. Let's look him up. Okay. Flying Raijin God. Comparison quick reference. Minato's Flying Raijin. Let's look at it first. Objects that can be infused with chakra. Limited to metals with a mass above a certain threshold. Minato's Flying Raijin. All objects are the target. The required time for chakra infusion. At least 1 minute or more. The required time increases depending on the size of the target object. Instant marking ability for Minato. Movement to a close distance within visible range. Can sense objects that have been infused with chakra and freely fly freely. Visual confirmation is not necessary, similar to Boro's Flying Thunder God. Movement to long distance. Beyond visible or another dimension. It is necessary to visualize the shape of the metal that is being infused. Therefore, common shapes like kunai or shuriken are not suitable for long distance movement to be specific to specific locations. By using the sun leaf ornaments that Boruto usually wears, he avoids failure. As long as there is a marked object, it is possible to fly anywhere. So Boruto's Flying Raijin, Shakti World, is objectively worse than Minato's. He never uses it within the same context as Minato uses it, and the only time that you will ever fucking hear me say, yeah, Boruto can probably use Flying Raijin is if he uses it, I don't know, mid fucking attack against someone and has like one of the little metal pieces already flying in the air, or Flying Raijin's onto himself, or something. Is an exercise. Devil's Advocate and Steel Manning is an exercise scalers could greatly gain from practicing. I always tend to do Devil's Advocate myself. I always tend to do the Devil's Advocate thing myself, believe it or not. Every single time I'm doing like power scaling on my own, I do it. And even for my videos, I do it whenever I'm writing a script. And I promise you, it is one of the best things you can do. But even then, when I say I genuinely do not have a reason to engage with or entertain a certain argument, it is because under no facet of logic can I play Devil's Advocate for it. There is no reason for me to. For example, he's saying that, well, Flying Raijin. Okay, how does Flying Raijin work? In what context can Boruto use Flying Raijin at the start of a fight where I say all the admirals have to do is speed blitz him? You're telling me that Boruto, with no precognition, no special kinetic vision enhancements, nothing like that, Boruto can just throw his markers everywhere like Minato, and then just start teleporting infinitely like Minato? You're telling me he can do that? No, bullshit. Unless I see something like that in the anime, or the manga, I'm not entertaining it. There's no way I'm doing that. Yeah. Again, shake the world. Believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not engaging with it if you cannot present to me objective evidence that this could happen. If you cannot present to me objective evidence that matter itself is just scattered from Uzuhiko, it means nothing to me. It genuinely means nothing to me, and it still doesn't tell me how it deals damage. Explain to me how it hurts a Logia user, because you still haven't.
Continent. However, the issue with this meta is that we have no idea how large said ice continent could be, and assuming its size already takes away from the validity of any
You
calculation.
just chain-scaled Naruto with a Jiraiya statement, not a feat, but a statement that he could destroy a mountain. The size of that mountain isn't stated because we never see it happen. So Jiraiya's mountain level because he could but never did destroy a mountain. Shinjao is not continental even though we see the feat happen. Most structures in fiction don't have a stated size, least of all in Naruto.
However, techniques like the Rasen Shuriken, which attacks on a cellular level, and Frog Song, which can incapacitate opponents through Genjutsu, give Naruto win conditions that Doflamingo's endurance simply cannot overcome.
You're never proving Genjutsu works on someone without chakra or a chakra network.
When it comes to Katakuri, there really isn't much to say in terms of scaling, as even though a lot of people misunderstand Haki Blooms and treat them like some type of Zenkai boost that allows Luffy and anyone he scales to grow infinitely stronger, the reality is that the only thing that actually improved during Luffy's fight with Katakuri was his observation Haki.
The strength of your observation Haki doesn't matter if you're not fast enough to combat your opponent. This is a statement we get from Luffy in his fight with Satori. This is proven again when he fights the Boa sisters and Kaido. Compare Bounce Man Luffy, who could only hit Katakuri when Katakuri lost his composure and allowed himself to be hit, to a stronger base Luffy whose strength Katakuri acknowledges, all before going low relative to Katakuri and fighting him on even footing in Snake Man.
This subsequently enabled Luffy to start landing hits consistently despite not being able to before, not because Katakuri was physically overwhelming him to the point where he needed to become massively stronger or faster.
Katakuri perception blitzed Luffy in Gear 2 and no-sold his elephant gun in Gear 3. Katakuri was crushing Luffy casually all before he even considered Luffy a serious threat. He then verbatim says he's stronger than Luffy. This is not a difference of opinion. You are factually wrong on this point.
Now, one of the main arguments used to scale Katakuri higher in terms of speed comes from his fight with Ichiji during Whole Cake Island. And in the next panel, it cuts to Ichiji already being defeated, with there being no indication that Ichiji had enough time or distance to accelerate to his maximum movement speed like he does when using his laser attack against Oven. So while Ichiji is technically capable of reaching faster than light speeds, that doesn't mean he ever moved that fast during his fight with Katakuri.
Saying that Ichiji wasn't going full speed because, well, you can't prove he is an argument from ignorance. Conversely, why don't you try justifying why Ichiji's not taking Katakuri seriously to not be going full speed, or why he needs to reach his max.
Meaning Luffy would additionally... Now, as for the earliest version of
shit.
to accelerate to his maximum movement speed like he does when using his laser attack against Oven. So while Ichiji is technically capable of reaching faster than light speeds, that doesn't mean he ever moved that fast during his fight with Katakuri.
Saying that Ichiji wasn't going full speed because, well, you can't prove he is an argument from ignorance. Conversely, why don't you try justifying why Ichiji's not taking Katakuri seriously to not be going full speed, or why he needs to reach his maximum speed in order to perform his feat of outrunning Sparking Valkyrie.
Now, as for the earliest version of Naruto capable of beating...
Fascinating stuff. What else do we want to check out? I think I'm gonna start making a habit of like just watching some of Aura's content on I think I'm gonna start making a habit of watching some of Aura's content throughout the streams. I really like this stuff. I really like this stuff, and there's always more content to be watched.
He couldn't even debunk you, Aura. All he did was call it headcanon. Yeah, man, it doesn't matter what evidence is in the manga. If you don't have a data book repeating the same thing you just found in the fucking source material, it's no good. Wait a second, what's this clown on about? Oh, he's spamming the headcanon buzzword and not addressing the evidence in favor of the claim. You guys are the ones who need to prove that Kizaru are not cap at light speed. Well, for one, he travels as a beam of light, and then as he mentions acceleration, his beam takes on a new shape. So the most likely conclusion I can derive from that dialogue is that his speed increased. A beam of light is the speed of light. Stay with me now. And then as the beam picks up speed, or accelerates, it goes faster than light. And given that we know Devil Fruit users don't just get better at using their power, they literally make it stronger, it seems more likely to be the case that as the man made of light, Kizaru immediately gained the ability to travel at light speed on consumption, at which point Kizaru would begin to train his power to the point of it becoming faster than the base speed, that being light speed. It's also the singular interpretation that doesn't collapse the narrative, given that we see several characters reacting to literal beams of light before the time skip. If pre-time skip characters can be off-guarded by beams of light and still react to them after they're fired, one can only deduce that these characters are operating at relativistic to FTL combat speeds, meaning for Kizaru to be massively above them, he would have to be capable of going faster than light. The statement in Egghead only confirmed what most of us already knew. Also, not to be that guy, but saying that Kizaru caps at light speed is a claim that you would have to prove. Then he shares with the class his definition of acceleration that he got from bumfuck nowhere. Acceleration is an increase in the rate or speed of something. He then tries the same argument of saying Kizaru was accelerating to light speed, even though we've never seen Kizaru's beam spike before. This is also the first and only time Kizaru has ever had to leave and re-enter an island to achieve this speed. So if he did have to commit to all this bullshit and all this charge up, we would have seen him do so at any point prior in the story. He didn't have to back up off of Sabaody to kick Hawkins through a building, nor did he have to when he spiked Apu into the ground. So it really all boils down to a bad faith argument. We've seen what Kizaru did to accelerate, and we've never seen him do that before, meaning that anything he had done prior was his base speed, and in his base speed, Kizaru was still able to kick Hawkins at what he himself calls the speed of light. Foxy's beam is not light speed, he literally calls it an atom, Mistranslation, manga canon by the way. And it brings me great joy to tell you this is in fact the mistranslation. Let's look at what the Raws actually say. We're specifically looking here at Ryushi, and you can run this through as many translators as you want. Ryushi means particle, so no, I'm not the one using a mistranslation. The call's coming from inside the house. Anyway, this was
I'm
riveting.
crying.
I
The
hope you
call's
have an
coming from
actual
inside the
argument next
house. It's
time.
funny.
He could.
You know how many people I've been seeing argue that Haku is Lightspeed, and therefore Kid Naruto and Kid Sasuke are Lightspeed? Not anything giving a speed of light, maximum speed for Haku, making it a range, yet ignore this range completely. Your Japanese is really good, by the way. Yeah, very good Japanese. Very good Japanese. Holy shit. You sound like a gaijin speaking fluent Japanese. Sage, look at Niji versus Katakuri as if it was like Frieza telling Goku that Namek is about to blow up in 5 minutes just because we're seeing it in slow motion, yeah. Yeah. What about this one?
Meanwhile, Arlong, via being a fishman, is already naturally 10 times stronger than
I'm
humans.
only learning, but I appreciate it. It's pretty good. No, yeah, your Japanese, your pronunciation is actually pretty good. For those of you that may not know, Japanese is actually very similar to Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and French from a grammatical perspective, from a vocal grammatical perspective, because all of the vowels in Japanese are constant, like in all these languages, right? So there's no A, there's just A. There's no E, there's E. There's no I, there's E. There's no U, there's O. And then there's no U, there's U. A, I, U, E, O. That's usually how you're supposed to go with the Japanese. The same way that, like, in Spanish, all the sounds are... Yeah, Japanese is similar to Spanish. I heard it was similar to Turkish. It's similar to Spanish from the way that you have to pronounce the vowels. Just from that perspective. A second video blew up more than expected. Made me happy. I'm happy it did. No, I'm genuinely happy that it did. 8,000 views is good, bro. Genuinely.
Enabling him to pull off feats such as lifting an entire house or tearing through a building with ease, which early versions of Naruto without power-ups realistically aren't going to be able to do. That said, literally the moment Naruto starts accessing the Nine-Tails chakra, he'd be able to beat Arlong with ease.
Now, I've had a long enough back and forth with this guy to know where he's going with this, though it was less so a back and forth and more so me debunking his video in a 10-minute long shit post, which he then melted down over for about an hour on his VOD, during which he would pause the video, pull up my page, and attack me instead of my argument. So let's see if he's gotten better or if he's still spouting the same slop shit.
It's pretty straightforward. You just have to learn the conjugations, which are a bit rough, but once you understand the conjugations and once you understand the structure of the sentence, my Japanese teacher back in high school used to actually reference it as kind of like how Yoda speaks, where it's kind of like backwards. Japanese sometimes like sounds very backwards, but at least from like an English grammatical standpoint, like if you're reading like the Raws very literally, but a lot of languages are similar, even share the same words and meanings. Yes, especially any language that has the a root in Latin.
The first ever feat we get from Nine-Tails Naruto is
stuff.
him shattering the same ice mirror that Sasuke was unable to leave a scratch on with his Fireball Jutsu, which itself is a technique capable of outputting anywhere from building to multi-city block levels of energy.
I've seen a singular pixel calc for Sasuke's Fireball Jutsu, getting it to city block, which is only on par with Luffy's own destruction of Arlong Park.
This is extremely important because despite how strong Arlong is, he was eventually defeated and knocked unconscious by Luffy's Gum Gum Battle Axe, which only collapsed the structure of a large building, demonstrating that Arlong's durability isn't realistically above building level.
For a guy who prides himself on being smarter than everyone who ever dares to disagree with him, I find it weird that he doesn't know the difference between DC and AP. Arlong also scales above Buggy, who's able to not only tank his own Buggy Ball, but multiple punches from Luffy. Feats that would scale the Genius Jester to small town level in terms of attack potency. It's funny how you're using calcs for Naruto, but not for One Piece. I wonder why that might be. If you didn't know DC from AP, I especially doubt that you know City Block is below small town level. But if you did know, that would explain it. You didn't use calcs for Buggy because that would mean you'd have to bring up Naruto from the Forest of Death. And even then, I can turn your own stupid ass logic against you and say Orochimaru's summon snakes only destroy buildings. Now keep that same energy when Kid Buu only blows up a planet, destroys his own body in the process, and has to regenerate from it. Let's try to not create this double standard.
While Croc has shown the ability to pulverize large portions of the ground, drain moisture from his surroundings, and create sandstorms capable of spreading across an entire kingdom with calcs reaching as high as city level, physically he isn't shown to be massively above someone like Arlong.
Did you just say Crocodile's not stronger than fucking Arlong? Let's ignore your shitty argument debunking itself with your own pixel count. You already debunked Arlong, and I'm using that term incredibly loosely, to building level with your completely unsupported assumption that Arlong's attack potency is only...
Since Aura mentioned it in his videos, I don't know why, but when it comes to pixel scaling and calcs, the power scaling community has this weird obsession of gatekeeping them behind Discord servers. Yeah, or they just say versus Battle Wiki.
Only as high as his destructive capacity. If Arlong's apparently building level and Crocodile is small city level, that objectively makes him stronger. What the hell are you yammering about?
The reason Logias are so difficult to deal with in One Piece is because most conventional attacks are too small to affect their entire bodies and simply pass through their elemental form. A punch or a sword slash might go through sand, but an attack that completely engulfs Croc's body and destroys the sand he's composed of is a completely different situation.
I hate to spam the phrase prove that, but your type is known for not being able to.
Techniques like the Rasen Shuriken and Tailed Beast Bombs are not conventional physical attacks. They're large-scale chakra-based techniques that create explosions capable of engulfing an opponent's entire body and pulverizing slash vaporizing material into dust and smoke.
I don't think you're ever proving Naruto can vaporize anything. I also want to point out that you went from wanking Land of Waves Naruto against Arlong to needing either Kakuzu fight or Four Tails Naruto to hurt Crocodile. But you're gonna sit here with a straight face and tell me the two are dead even in terms of physical stats.
Except Enel is a much worse matchup, as not only is he faster than Croc due to literally being lightning, but also because he can create lightning blast with a destructive level far above anything Crocodile could output, or that Rasen Shuriken Naruto could realistically withstand. In addition to his raw destructive powers, Enel also possesses far superior durability than Crocodile, which can reach all the way up to the city level range considering he was able to somewhat withstand Luffy's golden rifle.
You already scaled Crocodile to city level, so saying that Enel's also city level doesn't make Enel massively more durable. Enel also has a handful of statements that he's going to destroy the entire country of Skypiea with his last Raigo, which you conveniently didn't bring up, especially since all the Arc Maxim does is create the specialized storm clouds Enel needs to then fill with his bodily lightning. So we have Enel, Luffy, Zoro, and potentially even Wiper all in that country level with massively hypersonic combat speed, all of which coming from blatant statements and feats, quite unlike Kakashi's own lightning statement, which is only ever depicted in a filler episode in the anime.
And because we've already discussed how you can't beat a Logia through sheer force alone,
You quite literally just got done making that argument.
literally the only version of Naruto that would realistically be capable of defeating Enel is unironically Six-Path Sage Mode Naruto, as he's the only version of Naruto with access to the Truth-Seeking Orbs. Meaning that if Enel were to be touched by a Truth-Seeking Orb, he would theoretically cease being lightning.
No, he would at the very most become dispersed lightning. To atomize something is simply to pull something's atoms apart. All of this also leaves out the fact that TSOs don't even consistently do that much. So we had to go from Land of Waves to 4th Great Ninja War Naruto at his absolute strongest in Sage of Six Paths, just so you can misinterpret his hacks abilities and BS some interpretation into existence where he can harm a pre-Gears Luffy victim.
Meanwhile, Arlong Via being officially
Absolutely lovely. Good stuff. Seriously, Aura, good shit. Whoa, 100k. Oh yeah, that one was 100k. No rubber, speed of light. One tab hell. Not Boruto, stop it.
Imu has finally arrived. They have finally revealed what Imu looks like. And if you don't want to know, you know what to do.
That's a warning to all of you too. If you're not caught up to One Piece chapter 1179, keep scrolling.
I have very little words. This dude Oda completely copied Naruto.
Oh my god. Enough!
Dude might even be watching some Boruto, because this looks like a Naruto character. Now that I've got the One Piece fans and the Naruto fans' attention, this is one of the best designs I've ever fucking seen.
Alright, who got on here and made this deep fake? You got me.
And to think that that person is under all of this, I'm still very skeptical about it. And I'm seeing all the comparisons with certain Naruto characters, even Boruto characters, with
Deep
this
Rock
character.
Galactic is a really good game, but I don't know what type of games you like.
It's always looked like this.
Okay, yeah, number
One
one,
second,
you're not
I'll
the only
explain that in
person
a
who
second.
thinks that. Imu is referred to as a king, so we can only assume him to be male for right now. However, there's also a theory going around that Imu is still possessing someone else's body, possibly that of a Lunarian, which I wouldn't say is entirely impossible. At least to me, it looks like Imu's eye shape changed. Obviously, whether or not this was on purpose remains to be seen. As
I
for
remember the
comment
time
you
that
made
Jordan in his TikTok said that the TSOs are not existence eraser and the whole Naruto fandom exploded. Yeah, I could probably
the
look
eye
up
shape,
Jordan.
the anime appears to make Imu's eyes a bit more circular, but in the manga,
What's the
his
guy's name?
irises take up most of his eyes. And since this
Actually, you know
chapter
what?
is
We'll
yet
do
to
that
be
tomorrow.
colored, it
We'll do
might
it
look to some readers like Imu's iris occupies the entire eye. And since the whites of the eyes have little to no shading, some people have commented that it looks like the Rinnegan.
I've also been seeing all the traction and comparisons, and you already know Naruto fans are going to do that.
For the first time ever, I can see the resemblance.
So yeah, I'm seeing all the comparisons, but I'm saying to not take it that serious. Either way, I can wholeheartedly say that this is one of the best designs in the Big Three.
Anyway, we now have the face reveal for one of the most important characters in the entire One Piece manga. But at least to me, it feels like we just got it way too easily, so I'm waiting on another twist. And I feel the need to make this abundantly clear, I'm not mad, and this is not a debunk on tech. Anyone who sends him hate, go fuck yourselves. And with that, I've made my weekly post. Goodbye.
Imu has finally revealed.
Yo, I gotta say, I love how nonchalant you go about it, man. Yo, this will be my one post for the week. Goodbye. Yo, I am crying. Isn't the new thing with Jordan and Tech about hockey and life force? I don't know. I know Jordan, because that one group that I'm in kept like spamming like Jordan posts versus another guy or whatever, and I'm just like, all right, sure. I didn't care that much. I genuinely didn't care that much. I wasn't paying full attention and heard my name say it and it scared the fuck out of me. Got you. I will catch you guys all later tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be going over. By the way, this series, I forgot to talk about it. The series is pretty good. In this world, animals can be humanized. Pets can be humanized. They kind of become like siblings and members of the family that can talk, move around, and can finally fully speak with people. And there's a big plot twist at the start where like she comes home, daddy's dead. She sees her dog covered like in blood. This dog, and yeah, I haven't really fully read the first chapter, but it was pretty interesting. I kind of just clicked through some of it. I like the series. I'm gonna definitely check it out a little bit more and more. But anyway, guys, folks, please take care of yourselves. Please treat each other with respect. Don't be like those Naruto guys where you just jump into a fucking random ass series, a random person's channel, make a fool out of yourself by asking a bunch of questions, insult them, and then it's not a furry manga actually. Funny enough, it's not necessarily furry. The dog guy still kind of acts like a pit bull dog around her, and he just kind of just wants to be her friend. He just wants to be her friend. He just wants to be part of the family. Totally not biased, but stream. No, thanks. I love dogs too much. I will say this: the start of the series basically showed that like the dog guy was like the one covered in blood, but when she wakes up the next day and realizes that like he's completely been humanized, It was pretty dark, like, at the start, but then, like, when she wakes up and sees him, he's just a really chill guy. He's like, what? Am I allowed to eat this? Yeah, you may eat human food now. Yeah, he just seems like a very loving guy. It does remind me of a dog. Like, he has, like, that same, hopeful aura that dogs seem to have. Like, I don't know I don't know if it's because of the ears or the eyes, but, like, the author legitimately captured, like, a dog. Like, an actual dog's energy there, their essence through, like, some of these panels. I love it. I'm so happy we can talk to each other now. And it's basically just, like, a shit show of, like, her trying to realize, like, she hid her dad's body, the dad's no longer around, yada, yada, yada. They're technically the ones who, like, hid the body, so it's one of these situations where, like, yeah, I'd rather. All right, this one was there's some weird shit there were some weird comments here, but like it's not bad though. They do like hide the dog's the dad's they do hide the dad's corpse somewhere, and yeah, no, she's basically like constantly reliving it, but like her dog's kind of like making it a little bit better, you know. Oh yeah, he also asks if this guy's gonna mate with her, which is pretty funny. The dog looks scary. He's a pretty chill guy. I'm telling you from like the first 5 chapters I've read, he is a very chill guy. I know like the art style kind of lends to like him looking scary at times, but it is pretty chill. I'm telling you. Hey Eon, I have a question. Can Naruto and KCM2 defeat a... You already asked me. You already asked me if Naruto can defeat things from DND. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If it's not, I'll repeat myself. If it is not Naruto, One Piece, JJK, or technically, Dragon Ball, I cannot answer the question. I do not know the scaling for these series. But anyway, by the way, I think it was Sailor or somebody else asked me, if I like, Deep Rock Battalia or Battle Guard or whatever, Grand Rock Space, whatever. I played the game. I've downloaded it. It's alright. It's not for me. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your nights. Please don't do the shit that I said before. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys all later. Peace out.